Seol Hwi's eye burns demon red. System unlocks the great ship sword, and one strike splits a mountain. Drops go Weal coughing blood. Calculated strike. His health and Kai both crashing to zero. A man who's died more times than he can count just makes one death matter. How many loops bought this hit? Rewind to day one. A single word hangs in the dark: strength. Somewhere a young man is gasping, straining, drenched in sweat, while two fighters clash blades and scream at him to shift left, to run. Then a blast of crimson energy rips through the frame and slams into him. Whatever this fight is, it just went wrong, and we're about to find out why. Stay with me. He wanted to be strong, no matter who stood in his way, wanted a strength that actually lasts. Cut to the man he's really talking about. Gu Zhang Mayang, elder of the Mount Hua sect, the walking definition of top-tier swordsmanship. Standing in front of that, the young man admits the truth flat out. He could not survive. He came to Demon Academy chasing strength, and ground through hardship for years to get it. None of that stops the same white-haired swordsman from cutting him down right now. Bleeding out, he can only think how unfair this is, how he doesn't want to die, how if only he'd learned better martial arts, if only his circumstances had been a little kinder. Blood on his face, he asks himself if he's really about to die. Then, as everything fades, his vision throws up something impossible. A glowing screen with 3 options: resume, load a save point, restart. He stares at it in total disbelief. This is either the last delusion of a dying brain, or something is about to change everything. As consciousness slips away, he makes his choice with his eyes closing. He doesn't want to die, he wants to live. Lightning floods the screen and locks in his answer. Restart, selected. The system spells out exactly what that buys him. He's going back to right before his private meeting with the Lord of the Supreme Court. The math on his whole life just changed. He has no idea yet what this costs him. Washed up alone on some shoreline, a young man drags himself upright, built like he's already survived worse. His name is Seol Hwi, and he came to Demon Academy for one reason: to learn the demonic arts, forbidden techniques said to burn away your own lifespan for power. That's the deal he signed up for. Instead of demonic arts, masked search parties fill his years, reconnaissance mission after reconnaissance mission, nothing that actually makes him stronger. Then flatly, brutally, he dies. His own verdict on the life he just lost is blunt: it was a load of bullshit. And then, impossibly, he's gasping awake again, hand reaching out, utterly confused by what he's looking at. He lies there stunned before it even registers, then bolts upright yelling, staring at a ceiling he shouldn't be looking at. He knows this room. It's his old training facility, the one from before everything went wrong. Somehow, someway, the restart actually worked, and he's left with one question. What happened? Seol Hwi wakes on the street shaken, still replaying his own death like it just happened. He mutters one name under his breath: the Mantis, Lord of the Supreme Court, the man he blames for setting him up. He's alive. He has no idea how. 2 of his men wonder if their squad leader got stuck somewhere, and then there he is. Seol Hwi looks up and freezes. Juk Mayang, elder and captain of the Black Moon Squad, the Supreme Court's own enforcers, flanked by squad member Chik-san. His stomach drops. He knows exactly what's coming. Chik-san's fist buries itself in Seol Hwi's gut with zero warning. He doubles over coughing blood while the monk just shrugs it off. My hand just slipped. Then the mockery, calling him half asleep, spelling out exactly who's standing in front of him. Juk Mayang, captain of the Black Moon Squad. Seol Hwi barely registers the pain in his gut because something bigger just hit him. He's lived through this exact moment before, word for word. If he's right, he knows precisely what Chik-san says next, that if you lack skill, you'd better at least know how to bow your head. It lands exactly as predicted. An elder brands him a brazen fool for freezing up, but Seol Hwi barely hears it because the real gut punch is the summons. The Lord of the Supreme Court wants to see him. the exact meeting that got him killed the first time around. He's ordered to go. He goes. The Mantis, Lord of the Supreme Court, looks him over and calls him lucky, and the way he says it feels like a threat wearing a compliment's face. Back with his squad, Seol Hwi's still fuming at Chiksan, and now he knows why the monk got so bold. Juk Myung's backing. He swallows the rage. For now. Then Seol Hwi sees it. Numbers floating over his men's heads, +1 life, +2 life, like a game screen only he can read. Goosebumps. Everything is playing out exactly the way he remembers, down to the word. This isn't a dream and it isn't foresight. It's real. He's come back to the past. The screen flashes back to that choice. Resume, load a save point, restart. The reason he's standing right back here, before this exact meeting with the Lord of the Supreme Court. Face to face with the Mantis, the man who orchestrated his death, Seol Hwi swallows the fury and reports in. Flying faction squad leader, here for his orders. Seol Hwi wipes the sweat off his face and confirms it to himself. This is exactly how he remembers it. Across the room, the leader of the court of the holy deity, a bald old monk, is already seated. His mind drifts to the Red Demon Chamber, the very first branch of the Demon Academy, still wrapped in blood-red mist. He's been here before. He knows exactly what's coming. 5 courts make up the academy, and every leader is a monster with a blade. One in particular commands the demonic flame, a technique that melts a body to the bone in a single burst. No armor, no second chance. His temper is worse than his fire. He kills anyone he dislikes without blinking. Seol Hwi can't trust him, but for now he has no choice but to obey. The Mantis introduces him flatly. That child is Hwi. The old monk looks him over. He seems as powerful as you mentioned. Then he clocks the greeting, just a lazy tilt of the head, and Seol Hwi catches the insult land. He drops into an exaggerated, groveling bow instead. Forgive my impertinence, I only wanted to pay my respects. The monk warns the Mantis not to push too far. The Mantis snaps back, don't embarrass me like an interrogation. Seol Hwi plays innocent, claims he doesn't know how to act around a court leader. The Mantis fires back, don't make me laugh, and reminds him he ordered this same bow 4 days ago. Seol Hwi rises. Does this excite you? He reads it for what it is, a setup. The Mantis pivots, all smiles now. How about becoming clerk of the Chenil office, the archive holding thousands of classified demonic arts texts? Seol Hwi's mind snaps to attention. He's showing his true colors. This is bait. Access to those books is tempting, real power buried in there, but it's not free. Whatever the Mantis is offering always comes with a hook. Remember this room, it's going to matter. Instead, the Mantis hands him a mission. Return to the Mount Hua Sex outpost, take just a blade. Seol Hwi's stomach drops. That's the exact posting where he died the first time. He reads it as one more chance the heavens gave him, a shot to change the outcome of the incident that killed him, and he decides right there, dodge the order. He will not die again. The words hit him like a verdict, die again. Seol Hwi opens his mouth to argue, and here's where it gets stupid, the good kind. A translucent system window snaps into view, listing his options like a menu. Follow the order, request a different one, or cut off his right arm with some multiplier counter sitting at 9. His jaw drops. His body locks up. He can't move an inch. Across the room, the old monk freezes mid-sip, blinking. What in the world? Time itself has stopped around him. Seol Hwi thinks it through fast. This isn't a dream, he really did die once and land back in his own past. Another flash hits, numbers ticking down like constants, increase, decrease, multiply. The math just changed. This isn't a menu anymore, it's counting down time itself, forcing him to choose. Seol Hwi stares down 2 choices and hates both. Cut off his own arm, or follow an order that kills him the exact way he died before. So he picks a third option nobody accounted for. He tells the system he wants a different order instead. Whatever line he just crossed, his body pays first. Blood floods his throat and he doubles over, cursing. He didn't think that request. He said it out loud in front of everyone. And the mantis is already on his feet, blindsided because he hadn't given an order yet. The mantis doesn't hear a question. He hears defiance. How impertinent is the last calm thing he says before the room goes up. The demonic flame everyone in this court whispers about is finally on full display, swallowing the hall in fire, and Seol Hwi doesn't even get to brace. The bloodlust alone nearly drops him where he stands. He's only ever heard stories about this fire, and none of them cover what it actually feels like. It doesn't burn so much as sink teeth in, like something's clamped onto his throat and won't let go. Blood soaks his collar. Seol Hwi doesn't need a system window to tell him this one. He's in real trouble. He can already see how this ends. He's died this exact way before. Then something white and fast slams into him from the side with no warning and throws him clean off his feet. All he gets out is a dazed huh before the screen drops to black. Next stage, it reads. The title card locks in. Stage 2. Whatever just hit him wasn't the finishing blow because before anything else can land, one word cracks through the scene. Stop. Someone's already there, blade drawn, and the fight that was about to kill him again just got interrupted by somebody else's call. The rain clears on a woman standing over him, sword already back in its sheath, and Seol Hwi realizes how close that was. Half a second later and he loses his neck without ever seeing the cut. She's Seol Hwi, the vassal who guards the Lord of the Supreme Court, and she isn't here to finish him. Not yet. She'll hear him out first. I'll decide after that, Seol Hwi says. Seol Hwi drops into a bow fast, insisting he never asked for a new order to defy anyone, only to choose one for himself. Then he turns it into leverage. Rumor says the Mount Hua sect is massing at the Hanam border, and if Paid briefs him on the expedition, he'll join it himself, recon and all. Seol Hwi kneels before Paid, pressing for approval on the mission he wants. Paid chuckles, amused someone leaked word of a squad leader's rumor, then shrugs it off. He was going to assign this anyway. He orders the terrain scouted before the vice principal moves in and hands the job to the flying assassin squad. A masked figure kneels. I honor your command. Paid waves him off. Then you may go. Moments later, Seol Hwi stands frozen, staring at his own trembling hand. I lived, he mutters, hardly believing it, masked figures still around him. Above one head flickers a marker, 4 lives remaining. 4 more lives she could burn through before dying for good. The city fades into memory as the story rewinds to explain how this happened. Overlooking the city, Seol Hwi can barely process it. This is reality, he tells himself. What is happening to me? The system flashes, last chance. He replays it, Paid's order to scout the terrain, then betrayal. No backup ever came, and he died there with no way out. He thinks about running for Jongwon, then stops himself. Not with the demonic arts running through him now. The demonic energy in Seol Hwi won't stay hidden, no matter what he tries. Any soldier close enough will feel it and hunt him down until he's dead. Dying feels unavoidable either way. The bald monk from the holy deity court catches him muttering, calls him a monster for lasting this long inside the Supreme Court's halls. He laughs it off. The system doesn't. His life count ticked up by 1. The system pings again as Seol Hwi walks off alone, the choice from before replaying in his head. Follow the order and die again, or don't. He turns back to the flying assassin squad instead of walking away. Look here, he says. One of them sneers, you have something to say. I wanted to confirm something, he answers, and the whole squad tenses at how he says it. Seol Hwi doesn't wait for an answer. He's already airborne, blade drawn, crashing into the flying assassin squad before they can raise a guard. One of them barely gets out a startled gasp before the strike lands, blood arcing through the air. Another screams, what do you think you're doing? Seol Hwi is already swinging into the next one. One assassin drops with a strangled irk. The squad accuses him of causing trouble in the Supreme Court's own office. Seol Hwi doesn't deny it. I wanted answers, I wanted to get stronger, and I couldn't find anything. Then he answers with a technique, Black Demon 7 swords, 7 strikes inside 3 seconds, too fast to block. Another masked man goes down. Crazy bastard, one spits, you think you're safe now. Seol Hwi doesn't bother answering. Now I don't care anymore. He tears into the group, blood already down his side. I did everything I could to get here, he says, and when someone screams for him to stop, he doesn't. I will not die again. The math just changed, and it's his turn to make someone else pay for it. Seol Hwi turns his blade on the squad that left him to die, cutting them down mid-swing. Mid-fight, a notification flashes above his head, +1 life. He freezes. That might be exactly how he survives this. Then he catches himself, horrified. No, it has to be that. He grits his teeth and drives back into the fight. One by one, the traitors fall to Black Demon 7 swords. One masked assassin gasps out a warning, praying the captain never finds out about this, before Seol Hwi cuts the thought short. A crow watches in silence from a bare branch. Then a scream, and another blade lands exactly where it needs to. The dust settles, blood streaks the ground, and Seol Hwi walks away from what's left of the squad. The bald elder's face lingers behind his eyes. I killed him, he mutters. In the end, he stares into the sunset, jaw tight, and admits the truth out loud. I can't go back now. The moment he kills the bald elder, Chik-san, the notification above his own head blinks out. But nothing inside him feels different, no relief, no reward. He kneels by the water to steady his breathing, and for the first time makes himself actually look down at his own reflection. What stares back wrecks him. A new marker hangs over it, coins 2, second chance. Tears cut through the blood still drying on his face, and all he can force out is one word, this. Then the panel goes black. Whatever comes next, it's a different stage of this fight entirely. He's still frozen there at the water's edge, breath caught, staring at whatever just stared back at him, replaying it, because it clearly isn't done sinking in yet. Meanwhile, a boat slips through a narrow gorge at night, steep cliffs boxing in the current, the flying assassin squad rowing hard to move unseen. An official's orders echo in Seol Hwi's head. Survey the terrain, hand everything to the captain. His own thought lands harder than any of it. Somehow he's back at the academy, and Chik-san is still dead anyway. The gorge behind them, Seol Hwi can't shake it. The marker's still there over his own head, the same one that appeared the moment he killed Chik-san, and he still doesn't understand what it means. Then their squad leader steps up, Chai-Soo-jin, captain of the flying assassin squad, laying out the mission plain. Don't get careless, do the minimum and get back here. Chai-Soo-jin, the flying assassin squad's captain, snaps at Seol Hwi to quit stalling and follow her lead. The squad presses on through the forest in silence. Seol Hwi trails behind, turning the same question over and over. What did he actually learn the last time all this played out? He grips his sword, weighing it. Without warning, Seol Hwi steers the group right instead of left, and the squad murmurs, confused why he's suddenly rerouting them downhill. He can't explain the real reason. Last time, the Mount Hua sect wasn't waiting on this path at all. Something's already different. He refuses to let his people get hunted like animals again, even as he wonders if this is his second chance or his last one. They spot it, an isolated building perched on the ridge, the kind of structure that's built to watch, not to live in. Seol Hwi volunteers to check it alone, telling the others to come running the second they hear a sound. Walking up on it solo, he admits the truth to himself. If a real swordsman is inside, he doesn't win this one. He peers through the door, bracing for the worst, and finds it empty. Relief lasts about a second. His mind's already racing back to the academy because last time around he'd already killed Chik-san, the bald elder, and that's not a debt that stays quiet. 2 squad mates start whispering that something's off, that word might reach the captain. Someone says his name. He's got nothing to say back. A window snaps up in front of his eyes. Enemy detected, choose your response. Fight. Fight and probably die, or don't fight and die anyway. Seol Hwi stares at it, furious because he can't see anyone, hear anyone, or feel so much as a flicker of presence nearby. Time's running out on the choice itself. If he genuinely can't sense them, standing still won't save him either. He picks fight to the end. Someone screams for whoever's hiding to show themselves. And they do. Masked figures pour out from the trees on every side, boxing the squad in against the watch building. A voice cuts through the chaos, almost amused. Of course they'd be here. You're a capable one, aren't you? The man steps into full view, white-haired, sword at his hip. This is Gu Zhang-Hyan, elder of the Mount Hua sect, the swordsman who carries the plum blossom sword. He clocks the recognition on their faces instantly. To the Demon Academy, he's enemy number 1, the single most dangerous name on the list. The squad scrambles to explain. They only pushed this far south because orders told them to. How did you find us, they demand. Gu Zhang-Hyan doesn't follow the question, because from where he's standing, they're the ones who wandered into his patrol ground, not the other way around. Seol Hwi's rerouting didn't dodge one ambush. It walked them into someone worse. The elder stops asking questions. Every Demon Academy bastard here dies by his hand, he says, and draws. Steel meets steel and the fight is on. Seol Hwi's thoughts spiral. Maybe this life changes nothing, maybe he dies again, whether it's now or later. He'd let himself hope for something different this time. Then the moment breaks him. He screams the one line that cuts through every calculation, I don't want to die, and slams out the order anyway. Retreat. Now. The retreat order is already out, but retreating from what's closing in on them right now was never going to be that simple. Whatever comes next won't care that they tried. Above them, the masked line flinches at a whistling cut through the air. Seol Hwi's already moving, scarf snapping red as he weaves through the first wave of strikes, boots hammering the ground. Somewhere behind the chaos, a voice clicks its tongue. Tusk, tusk. Amused, like this is barely a warm-up. Too slow, the voice says, and the red arc that follows nearly ends him right there. Seol Hwi twisting through it with his blade lit up crimson. He hits the ground coughing blood, more strikes raining down around him. Gu Zhang-Hyan watches it all without hurrying, like the outcome's already decided. Gu Zhang-Hyan doesn't even bother sounding impressed. Weak, all of them, no wonder the one they call leader is such an imbecile. Silence answers him. Then the real accusation lands. You knew we were coming, he says, otherwise none of this makes sense. What are you talking about? Comes the reply, and Gu Zhang-Hyan answers with a sword already swinging. He demands how Seol Hwi knew, and Seol Hwi's mind races instead of answering. Some insight beyond normal reckoning, knowing not just what but exactly when. Nothing this clean happens without foreknowledge. Gu Zhang-Hyan answers his own question anyway. One side gets efficiency, the other gets rid of inconvenient people. Then his eyes land on Seol Hwi, a demon cultivator who talks back to his superiors. That's new. He laughs, delighted about something none of them find funny, then gets to the point. Fighting them is actually useful, it's sharpening his own skill. Then the blade turns on Chai Su-jin, the squad's captain, marked to die first. She begs, calls it unfair to go out like this, pleads for just one more chance. A prompt answers instead. 2 coins spent, 1 second chance. The plea comes too late. One more slash and a body goes still in the water. Seol Hwi's own system flashes up. 1 chance left, 10 seconds to choose, restart or load a save point. He won't restart, not after everything he's learned. With no guarantee this exact disaster doesn't just repeat. He tries load instead. Every save slot comes back empty. Seol Hwi tries to fall back on resume, but the system flat out rejects it. The gap between him and Gu Zhang-Hyan, the Mount Hua elder wielding the plum blossom sword, is too wide to close from here. One option's left glowing on the screen. Restart. The system tells him exactly where the restart drops him, right before the private meeting with the Lord of the Supreme Court, back at the source of this whole disaster. Alone, Seol Hwi laughs at himself, bitter, wondering if this was just bad luck. Then he catches himself. Staying put means dying soon. Cut to Gu Zhonghyun's men, baffled that Seol Hwi's just vanished. An old ally floats a theory out loud. Kill someone once and the words marking their fate disappear, meaning each person only bleeds one life. Seol Hwi hears it and the math lands hard. One life left. No coins to spare. He vows to survive no matter what, and the restart fires. The system confirms it flat. You have restarted. The screen washes to white. Whatever's waiting on the other side, Seol Hwi goes in with one life on the clock and no more chances after this. He's running, barefoot, gasping, dropped straight into danger with no idea what just changed. The system flashes his one remaining life again, last chance stamped right on the screen. Enemies on every side, nothing he can fight, nothing he can dodge. He needs a way out and fast. Stage 5 opens. Seol Hwi announces himself as the Flying Assassin Squad's leader, here to take orders from the Lord of the Supreme Court. The old lord clocks exactly who's standing in front of him. Seol Hwi steadies himself. Whatever this meeting cost him last time, he's not running from it again. The Lord sizes him up, almost fond, then offers him a desk job as clerk of the court's office, the exact same offer from before, word for word. Something crashes into the room and everyone flinches. Seol Hwi turns the job down flat. The Lord just smiles. He's got a mission instead. Seol Hwi finally says what he came to say. The system throws up a choice: follow any order, ask for a different one, or cut off his own right arm on the spot. He already knows which answer gets him killed. He picks the arm, says it out loud, and the room goes still. Seol Hwi kneels before the Lord of the Supreme Court, demanding to know why now, insisting that if he can't dodge his fate, he'll deal with it himself. He admits he's spoken out of turn for years, chasing power that wasn't his. The Lord stays silent. Seol Hwi offers proof of loyalty, whatever it costs. The old man's mouth curls. More amusing than I thought, and he lifts a hand. Then do it, the Lord says. Seol Hwi draws his blade against his own arm, gritting through it. Just once, he tells himself, I only have to do this once. If he sees it through, he can still find a way out. He forces the cut, and it's ugly, blood spraying, the pain tearing a scream out of him. Somewhere close, a voice cuts through it. Stop there. The blade comes down and a voice barks, stop there, and when it clears, someone has caught his arm mid-swing. Seol Hwi stares down at himself, stunned. I did it, he breathes, and the system answers, 4 lives added to his count. His arm hangs there uncut but dead. He can't move it at all. Behind him, the old elders trade a look, clearly entertained. One elder mutters he's never seen anyone quite like this, and the Lord smiles, saying the academy needed an unusual one. Then he asks Seol Hwi if he still wants to head the Chenil office and tells him to go. Alone, Seol Hwi realizes this was the plan all along. This was the option that meant survival. He walks off laughing bitterly, swearing he'll never forget those 2 assholes. Seol Hwi arrives at the towering Chenil office for intake, and the clerk runs through the basics: name, age, 27. Asked about experience, Seol Hwi says 8 years in the Flying Assassination Squad. The clerk perks up until he checks the ranking, 12th out of 300 at his old academy. Oh ho, the clerk says, mocking, never thought a ranker would end up somewhere this shabby. The clerk, a sharp-eyed woman with a plaque reading Sima Gui, spots his ruined arm and asks what happened. An accident, he says. She shrugs it off, not her business, and leads him through the misty halls to his real assignment, keeper of the classified archive. Keep it organized, she warns, and if a single book is damaged, it's on you. Buried in the stacks, Seol Hwi sorts by size and type, but his mind's elsewhere. This place holds classified knowledge nobody tracks, which means somewhere in here could be a way to kill Du Hong, the man he's set on ending. Then the system pings one more life and pings again, a second one stacked on top. Someone calls out behind him, "Secretary, sir." An old man in the room turns, startled by something off-screen. Then the world goes dark and misty, and a voice screams his name, Seol Hwi, tearing through the silence. He stands frozen, robe torn open, sweat cutting down his face, eyes locked on whatever just found him. The scene cuts to black before we see who's calling. The system flashes again, banking Seol Hwi one more life, and he reminds himself that even a wasted one just resets into a fresh shot. Two men walk on in the background, unaware. Black ink rips across the page as a new stage opens, and quietly Seol Hwi speaks up, addressing the secretary standing near him. Can he actually win one-handed? Seol Hwi doubts it for half a second before the fight erupts anyway. Steel flashes, blood sprays, and an elder recoils, calling him a crazy bastard who's lost his mind. Seol Hwi mutters that the cut wasn't deep enough, that his life is worth about as much as Chick-sen's ever was. He has to finish this. He can't stop now. The longer this drags, the worse his odds get, and Seol Hwi knows it. He presses the attack anyway, blades ringing through panel after panel, his ruined right arm robbing every strike of its full force. Pain finally catches up, ripping a raw scream out of him as a dark shape closes in behind. Blood sprays with the finishing blow, and Seol Hwi comes out of it shaken, admitting that in his current state he can't guarantee winning anything. The scene shifts, and back at the archive, Seol Hwi checks on him and presses a small hand warmer into his hands. "Just a token," he says, "against the cold." Seol Hwi calls him surprisingly sociable. Seol Hwi warns him to keep his head down if he wants to live long. Seol Hwi agrees out loud, but alone his mind goes straight to what matters, surviving long enough to escape this place and make Du Hong pay. Hours vanish into the archive's books. Then, mid-sigh, something small in his hand starts glowing. A core. The core turns out to be packed into a technique deeper than expected, and Seol Hwi reads on in silence. Then a translucent window snaps open in front of him, the system asking what martial art he wants to master. This one catches him off guard, because time hasn't frozen first, the world just keeps moving. The title resolves, The Three Primary Excellences Textbook. These aren't ordinary techniques. One is the Lord of the Supreme Court's own signature art, ranked at the very top. Another, Pei hand skill, is famous too, mastered by Seol Hwi himself. Seol Hwi reaches for the art he actually wants, but the system locks it. His ruined arm can't handle it and he curses. He settles for white fluorescent martial arts, and sword, footwork, and combat skills unlock at once. If he can master all of this, there's no reason left to hold back, and he picks sword skills first. The system promises a demonstration, and a ghostly blue swordsman flickers into being out of nothing, frost breathing off every motion, footwork and grip textbook perfect. Seol Hwi stares, transfixed. This shadow is about to teach him how to actually fight. The ghostly demonstrator finishes its blue fire kata, and Seol Hwi's system flickers awake. White fluorescent martial arts, special skill set, great ship sword, freshly unlocked. He squints at the notation. Great ship, sword. He doesn't understand half these characters, but one thing is dead certain. This is a chance to fight back. He commits. Not sure why this power landed on him, but he'll use every inch of it for revenge and to survive. One name surfaces in his head, Chenil Office Secretary Du Hong. If white fluorescent martial arts really works like he thinks it does, then he can win. Sword raised, aura blazing, he moves. We're back in the Chenil library, rows of ancient texts stacked high and silent. A rat creeps quietly between the shelves, and then, out of nowhere, a loud bang rattles the quiet. Seol Hwi carves the air with his sword, blue light trailing every swing, and he can't help but laugh. White fluorescent martial arts. This much power packed into one single movement. The strike detonates outward in a shockwave, and somewhere close by, Someone staggers from the blast. A month slips by. Seol Hwi drills the same forms over and over, robe torn and knotted at his waist, breath ragged with effort. Each strike lands harder than the one before, the blast stacking louder, building toward whatever comes next. Swordsmanship starts paying off everywhere, footwork and combat both getting easier. But Great Ship Sword won't cooperate. The system breaks it down like a fighting game. Front, back, up, 2 diagonal slashes, each one assigned to a hand or a foot. Seol Hwi stares at the notice and can't untangle the sequence. All he wants is to actually pull the move off. Fate hands him something new, real leverage. Somewhere in these classified texts is a weakness on Du Hong, and overhead the system flashes a cold reminder, -1 life spent to get this far. His laugh curdles low and unsettling, his back trembling before he catches himself and buries the discovery, just in case. Back to the boring grind, he picks up a basic skills book before shelving it. Footsteps break the quiet. Elder Yon, a green-robed senior of the archive, looks up and freezes, face draining white. Seol Hwi tilts his head, casual, something on my face. Elder Yon's mind screams there's no way, then he warns him flat and even, don't stand out, not if you want to live long. Du Hong was right. This one's a monster. A notification flares red over the elder now standing in front of Seol Hwi. 10 lives logged. His guard stammers an apology, but the old man just laughs it off and asks Seol Hwi's name straight to his face. Seol Hwi gives it plain Seol Hwi, but his head is racing. Hyuk Bai, Sima Gui's own guard, carries 4 lives. This man in green carries 10. The math just changed. Seol Hwi tells the elder he's only organizing the shelves, orders straight from his post. The old man buys it, all smiles, then leans in for the real ask. He's misplaced a book he treasures. Has Seol Hwi seen something called the 3 Primary Excellences textbook? Seol Hwi's stomach drops. That's the book in his hands right now. The system throws up 2 choices and neither one is safe. Say he's never seen it, or admit he's already mastered the martial arts inside. Say the wrong line and he dies where he stands. No pressure. He can't take either option, both feel like a death sentence and he knows it. Time is running out on the prompt. No stalling, no clever third answer, just a clock ticking down to a choice. Cornered, Seol Hwi decides. Pick the least terrible lie and live with it. He locks in the safer lie, never seen it. The prompt clears, the scene keeps moving, and Seol Hwi says it straight to the elder's face. The old man blinks, almost disappointed, then shrugs it off, muttering about where he could have left the thing. Did it actually work? Then the elder offers to help him search for it, and Seol Hwi's whole body goes tight. The old man just chuckles, says he can't remember where he left it himself. Seol Hwi lets out a breath, thinks he's clear, and then goes rigid all over again. Something just clicked. The elder snaps his fingers, he just remembered where he left it. Seol Hwi's voice cracks, asking where, already dreading it. They walk together in silence, and then the old man says it flat, "You're holding it right now." Seol Hwi looks down. He is. Caught red-handed, the book right there in his own hands, the lie dead before it even had a chance. Seol Hwi's face says it all, wide eyes, cold sweat, one thought looping. Is this it? That's the note we're stuck on, and the fallout is what comes next. The elder in green suddenly claims he just remembered where he left the manual. Seol Hwi's stomach drops. The elder turns, fixes him with a dead stare, and says it plain, "You are holding it." Seol Hwi's caught red-handed now, his fist trembling around the book he can't hide anymore. His face says it all, caught, no way out. The scene cuts to a beat of silence, then picks back up mid-walk. Footsteps echo through the corridor as the green-robed elder leads him on, Seol Hwi trailing a step behind, already replaying every choice that got him here. Seol Hwi's mind races. What happens now? That system tag flashing beside the elder reads 10 lived lives, more than he's ever seen. Running isn't an option. He weighs playing dumb one more time, opens his mouth to try it, and the old man cuts him off with a laugh. The elder cracks up, waves it off. Just joking, just messing with him. Seol Hwi doesn't buy the relief for a second. Then the old man pivots, casual as anything, asks if he's new here and introduces himself as Bu Il-gi. Pleasantries done, he wanders off toward the shelves like nothing happened. That laugh felt hollow. Seol Hwi can't tell if any of it was real, and the question won't leave him, just who is this guy? Time slides past in a blink, nothing but rats scratching through the stacks until Bu Il-gi breaks the quiet again. So he says, "You came here by recommendation of the Lord of the Supreme Court." Seol Hwi confirms it, and Bu Il-gi needles him. That old geezer never does favors for anyone. Seol Hwi defends him until Bu Il-gi twists the knife. "He treated you so well he left your sword arm useless." Seol Hwi freezes. "Nobody should know that." Bu Il-gi shrugs it off, just curious about the new scribe. "At least it wasn't your neck," Bu Il-gi adds, cheerful as ever. "Better to eat dirt in this life than the next." Then he twists again, tells Seol Hwi to give up on mastering any new martial arts here. Seol Hwi's patience is fraying. Whoever casually calls the ruling elder's old geezer has to be dangerously powerful, and that scares him more than the threat did. "Is he in my head?" Bu Il-gi denies it, calls the guest fair. Then he needles harder. Who among the young ones can call the Lord of the Supreme Court old geezer like he just did? The real question lands next. How much of the white fluorescent martial arts has Seol Hwi actually mastered? Seol Hwi's blood runs cold. "I don't know what you're talking about," he says, flat and immediate. Seol Hwi, the regressed swordsman undercover in the archive, insists his ruined right arm makes martial arts impossible. Bu Il-gi laughs it off, says there's no need to be so serious. Then the warmth drops out of his voice. If Seol Hwi's lying, he says, that's not a mistake he can walk back from. Bu Il-gi tells him to keep working hard and walks off. Seol Hwi breathes out, sure he made it, his heart hammering. And then he freezes. The elder hasn't actually left. Something else is creeping into the frame, a faint blue static bleeding across the page. A translucent blue prompt drops over the scene, laid out like a menu. Is he the fourth disciple of the heavenly demon, Earth Demon? Seol Hwi has no idea what he's looking at. Then the page goes black around 3 words, disciple of the heavenly demon. He's only heard that name in rumors, ranked 30th in the Demon Academy, the single strongest fighter alive. And it's standing right in front of him. Bu Il-gi's shadow twists into something inhuman, and the page just says, is a monster. Sweat pours off Seol Hwi as he works the menu. Confessing he mastered the white fluorescent martial arts is off the table. That's a straight admission. The third option isn't even worth considering, so he locks in the lie, the fourth disciple. I have no other choice, Seol Hwi decides and commits. The scenario resumes, and remember this, because Bu Il-gi doesn't push back. Not bad, he says, unbothered that his cover's blown. In the end, he shrugs, I'm just the guy who got pushed out in a power struggle. Seol Hwi bows deep, playing the part, begging forgiveness for his impertinence. Relief floods him, because if the Earth Demon's real identity had gotten out here, this would have been the absolute worst-case scenario. Bu Il-gi waves it off, tells him to get back to work, and walks away. Seol Hwi lets out a breath and drops to the ground. Still on the ground, Seol Hwi mutters just why. When the exact same blue prompt slams back onto the page, the option to confess he mastered the martial arts. He already chose. He already survived this. Why is it back? His teeth grind as the choice locks in around him again. God admit, he snaps, and this time the confession goes through. To be honest, I did master the white fluorescent martial arts from that book. Bu Il-gi goes quiet. Is that so? He says. Then, flat and final, that means you've deceived me. Bu Il-gi's foot slides forward. Steel clears its sheath. "Do you have a death wish?" he asks flat, almost bored, which is scarier than any shout. Seol Hwi freezes, eyes blown wide. Then the system window snaps back into view. 500. The countdown is running again, and this time it isn't offering him a way out. Sweat drips off Seol Hwi's chin. He swallows hard enough to hear it. The option box hangs there unchanged, same line staring back at him, and the counter just starts eating itself. 500, 499, 498. Whatever this timer is counting toward, it's moving now, and the words "next stage" settle in like a verdict. Bu Il-gi doesn't turn around right away. "Is that so?" he says, quiet. "Then that means you've deceived me." The blade clears its sheath again. "Do you have a death wish?" Seol Hwi's whole body locks up and the option window flickers back into frame, that same cursed 500 waiting on him to answer. Darkness swallows the panel as Seol Hwi drops, and stage 9 opens with the count still sliding, 497 now. When the picture clears, he's down on the ground, sword still hanging over him, and nobody's saying anything. The silence is worse than the blade. At this point, it's not a choice, Seol Hwi realizes. "I'm being forced." Then it clicks. This timer's different, 3 digits, not an instant snap, ticking down instead of demanding an answer right now. That gap is the whole game. The system isn't rushing him, it's giving him room to find the right answer. Only one obstacle stands between him and walking out alive. This question, Seol Hwi decides, has to work in his favor, not against him. Every trap so far has flipped that way, so this one should too. He forces himself to think past the panic. A heavenly demon disciple, openly hostile, standing right in front of him. He needs an angle that convinces him. Sweat drips. Then it hits him. Openly hostile. Bu Il-gi mutters to himself. That old geezer never asks favors, and his words don't sound loyal to the Lord of the Supreme Court. Seol Hwi catches the opening. This man got pushed out of a power struggle. He doesn't need loyalty, he needs strength, and clearing out the right rivals helps them both. Seol Hwi locks eyes with him and answers. "I'm Gujong Mayung." Bu Il-gi grabs him by the collar. "How did you know?" The question lands somewhere between fury and disbelief. Someone holding a position at the Demon Academy, secretly in contact with another faction. Seol Hwi actually guessed right. The counter drops to 32, then falls silent between them. "This is it," Seol Hwi tells himself, throat tight. "Please let it work." The system locks his answer in, and the scenario resumes. Bu Il-gi demands to know what he just said. Kneeling under his sword, Seol Hwi holds the bluff. Bu Il-gi could never close the gap with the heavenly demon's other disciples. When the heavenly demon made his choice, the other disciples had already locked down support, Seol Hwi says, so nothing Bu Il-gi tried was ever going to work. "Don't change the subject," Bu Il-gi snaps, sword still raised. Seol Hwi holds his nerve and names the play outright. "Pick a side, back the Lord of the Supreme Court." Something shifts behind Bu Il-gi's eyes. Seol Hwi lays out the stakes. The Supreme Court sits at the center of Red Demon Place. Take it, and the whole territory follows. "Isn't that why you came looking for me?" Bu Il-gi turns the question back, asking if Seol Hwi really came hunting the 3 primary excellences. "I've been thinking," Seol Hwi answers and doesn't blink. "Why would someone at the top talk to someone this low?" Bu Il-gi finishes. Seol Hwi doesn't flinch. He isn't here to ask, he's here to find whoever can hand him the Lord's weakness. "Why do you think that?" Bu Il-gi presses. Seol Hwi lays it out. "The Lord sent the flying assassin squad scouting the same month Seol Hwi arrived, and Seol Hwi alone got pulled off it. Coincidence?" Seol Hwi's read continues. "Repeat the past exactly and the whole assassin squad dies." Bu Il-gi hears the rumors, no reason left to notice him at all. Bu Il-gi calls it out loud. "You think I have another goal?" Then he breaks, laughing hard. You're right, he says, you're quite amusing. No wonder Sima Gui can't stand you. So you can actually hand me that weakness, Bu Ilgi asks. Yes, Seol Hwi says. Then what is it? Seol Hwi goes quiet and Bu Ilgi sneers, all talk after all. Seol Hwi lifts his head instead of answering. If I gave the earth demon what he wants, he says, what would I get in return? Bu Ilgi's shock cracks into a stare. Seol Hwi holds the line. I already put my life on it, so if there's something to gain, I mean to take it. You think your life's worth much? Bu Ilgi asks. I already know it isn't, Seol Hwi says. But if my information saves you time and effort, isn't that price enough on its own? Bu Ilgi laughs it off and agrees. Give him information that good and he'll pay a reward to match. Seol Hwi doesn't hesitate. The Lord of the Supreme Court's weakness, he says, is the Mount Hua sect's elder, Gujong Mayung. Remember that name. Seol Hwi just staked his life on it once already, and now he's spending it again. Bu Ilgi wants proof. Seol Hwi tells him straight. The Lord of the Supreme Court never leaves a trail, so this is a guess, nothing more. But narrow the suspects to one name, he says, and the earth demon doesn't need evidence. He has the power to manufacture it, and enough men in the shadows to swear the lie is true. Bu Ilgi lets a slow smile take over. It is quite possible, he says, and the deal is sealed. Alone with Seol Hwi now, he confirms the name out loud, testing how it sits. Then, before he trusts a word of it, he says there is one thing Seol Hwi needs to do for him first. The enemy, Bu Ilgi says, and drops the order flat. Kill that man. Seol Hwi's face goes rigid with shock. This isn't cruelty, Bu Ilgi explains, it's verification, proof Seol Hwi isn't secretly working for the Lord of the Supreme Court. Can he do it? Seol Hwi's answer isn't about ability. It's about necessity. He must. I will do it, Seol Hwi says. The order lands on a face he's forced to memorize. The Flying Assassin Squad leader, a name that's about to become his problem. Bu Ilgi savors it, calling him the enemy, promising he'll be dealt with. Seol Hwi's expression cracks with sweat. Remember this face. It's the one he has to kill. The wind picks up over the rooftops. Bu Ilgi's parting line hangs in the air. He'll be waiting on the 12th floor of the library. Seol Hwi walks out alone, twin swords on his back, scarf snapping in the wind, one crippled arm and an impossible order now sitting on his shoulders. Kill Juk Mayung, then find me, the order was. Alone now, Seol Hwi answers it in his head. You think I can't kill him? The system pulls up both status windows and the math is brutal. His arm is disabled. His one attack skill barely a breeze. Juk Mayung's sheet is stacked with real techniques and full health. He's already working an angle that doesn't need brute force. Night falls over the city as Seol Hwi walks, turning a question over. When does a person actually let their guard down? Eating? Dating? Sleeping? No. He stops outside a public outhouse and the answer lands with a dry, absurd click. It's when they're taking a shit. He's replayed it endlessly, every beating Juk Mayung gave him out of boredom, repetition, or just a bad mood. So here's the plan. That bastard takes long shits, and that's the one moment his guard drops. Seol Hwi will crawl into the outhouse and strike from there. Disgusting, but he'll only stomach it once. Whatever it takes, he survives this, and he reigns above every one of them. Seol Hwi ducks low as Juk Mayung strolls into view, right on schedule just like always. He drops into the outhouse pit itself, bracing for the worst kind of ambush spot. It's clean, actually, small mercy. Then footsteps stop right above him. He's here. Juk Mayung settles in, oblivious. Seol Hwi's blade flares alive, and for one heartbeat he begs it, just once, work. He drives the strike home and the air answers back, blasting out in a violent pink shockwave nobody asked for. Even Seol Hwi flinches. Oh fuck, indeed. Steel meets steel, fast and ugly, Juk Mayung recovering quicker than he should. Seol Hwi grunts through the exchange, barely keeping pace, and then the system cuts in cold. Great ship sword equipped. He never picked that. His own hand just did it for him. The system pings again, sharper this time. Perfect opportunity found. The enemy's weak point is open. Heavy damage guaranteed. Seol Hwi doesn't even process the words before his arm is already swinging. My body's moving on its own, he thinks, stunned. Juk Myung barely has time to look confused. The blade rips a single line of light straight through the night sky, and Juk Myung drops with a strangled grunt. The system confirms it cold. Conversion strike, 1404 damage. Seol Hwi stares down at his own sword like it's a stranger. The sword's energy did that. Juk Myung's health bar bottoms out at 0. It's done. A handful of coins spill out, tagged third chance, and Seol Hwi just stands there catching his breath. Then the laugh comes, cracked and half disbelieving, ha ha ha, before he pulls up his status window to figure out what just carried him. If he could wield that kind of power without limits, he'd be untouchable, no question. But his right arm is still crippled in this life, and if word gets out Juk Myung is dead, he's suddenly the most hunted man around. Getting stronger just got a lot harder. So, then what? He decides to bank it for the next life instead of gambling now. Telling Bu Il-gi everything feels too soon. He still can't read the man's angle. Then the story cuts hard. A scribe of Chenil Library kneels before the Lord of the Supreme Court himself, who looks down and asks flatly, "Have you gone insane?" Seol Hwi kneels in the Lord of the Supreme Court's private study, the stink of the kill still clinging to him. The old man wants to know what he was thinking. Seol Hwi answers flat. There was no other way to put down Black Moon Squad leader Juk Myung with his own 2 hands. Then the Lord stops mid-question, breath-catching. Something coming off this kid isn't right. Demonic flame. The old man's question lands like a blade. Who did you meet? Seol Hwi stumbles, and that's enough. The Lord hauls him up by the collar, warning him one careless word and he's dead. Seol Hwi's mind races past the question. The real problem isn't who he met, it's what he's hiding. He mutters that thought out loud without meaning to, and the Lord catches it. The Lord accuses him of losing his mind since the library demands honesty, taunts, "Don't you always wish me dead?" Seol Hwi answers on cue. He met the Earth Demon who sent him here. A lie, but a useful one, meant to steer the old man off the real thread. It works. The Lord drops the subject of the kill and pivots. Fine, what does the disciple want to know? The truth spills into view. Seol Hwi has been grilling the Lord about a secret meeting with Mount Hua sect's elder Gu Jong Myung, a rival faction contact that counts as treason for anyone tied to Demon Academy. The Lord replays it in his head, rattled. An aide presses him to just be honest, because the Earth Demon has been sitting on this suspicion a long time. Cornered, the Lord lets a detail slip. Yellow Mountain, the 2 of them agreed to meet there at the start of next month. Seol Hwi catches it and thinks, got him. Then something on the floor catches his eye, nothing visible until the system pings. He's obtained the Lord of the Supreme Court's secret map. He doesn't hesitate. Accept. The map is a revelation. It tracks the Lord's most visited spots, including exactly where he keeps meeting Mount Hua's elder every few months. Seol Hwi's system quietly builds a toolbox around it, herbs, rations, the map itself. Then the mood flips. The Lord asks when the 4th disciple taught him demonic arts. Seol Hwi lies smooth. A couple days ago, right when he first reached Chenil Library. The Lord puts it together. Barely any time since he sent Seol Hwi off, and already this stranger taught him demonic arts, had him kill Juk Myung and set him digging up dirt on the Lord himself. Is that correct? Seol Hwi goes quiet, then admits it. Yes. The Lord doesn't wait for more. He strikes, blood sprays, and his voice turns lethal. "You son of a bitch, taking me for a fool." The chapter cuts to black on that line, still hanging in the air. Son of a bitch, and fades up on 3 words. Next stage. Whatever the Lord of the Supreme Court is about to do to Seol Hwi, we are not done watching. Blood drips off Seol Hwi's fingers, one heavy drop hitting the floor. He's on his knees, coughing more blood, and his mind spirals. Why was I born? Why am I here? Why doesn't it touch me when I kill people? Not fear, not guilt. Just a soldier interrogating his own wiring mid-collapse. Everything traces back to one question, he thinks. Why? Why do I have to bow to whoever's stronger? That question is exactly what set the Lord of the Supreme Court off. The Lord grips him and asks if he knows why he lost. Seol Hwi chokes out a groan. The Lord starts talking. The Earth Demon, you see. The Earth Demon, the Lord explains, never teaches his martial arts to anyone. He only fights with what the headmaster passed down to him. Seol Hwi starts laughing through the blood in his mouth, a short, ugly ha, then mutters "fucking bastard" under his breath. The Lord catches it, thrown. Seol Hwi looks up. You don't know, do you? The old man blinks. What? You really don't know, the Lord repeats almost to himself. Seol Hwi answers with a slow, bloody grin. You lost. To me. The old man's eyes go wide, then flood red with rage. You fucker. Steel meets steel, the two of them collapsing into a full clash. The fight, the whole conversation was stalling. The Lord's blow lands clean, blood exploding across the panel, and just like that, Seol Hwi is dead. But dead doesn't stick for him. A blue system window flashes up. You have restarted. That's his whole angle, the reason he can gamble with his life at all. He doesn't get one shot. He gets do-overs, and the clock just reset. He wakes up sprawled on his own floor, shirtless, shell-shocked. I came back, he mutters. He flexes his crippled right arm, and it moves clean, no damage. Good news. But the number ticking in his head is the real headline. He only has 2 lives left. The restarts aren't free, and he just spent one. He pulls up his status screen. Squad leader rank, body back to normal. Health and stamina both tick up a notch from last cycle, small progress that carries over between lives. His skill list is the same 3 moves: Heavenly Demon Sword Energy, 7 Black Demon Swords, Feeble Sword Wind, still missing the white fluorescent demonic arts the Earth Demon fought with. But he remembers exactly what it looked like. Then the system throws a curveball, white fluorescent demonic arts obtained. He nearly chokes. Here's where it gets stupid, the good kind. Remember a technique clearly enough and the system just lets you learn it, no teacher required. A toolkit appears: 2 herbs, a ration bar, a map he's never had. He doesn't know what half of it does, but he doesn't hesitate to summon that map. Seol Hwi rips open the delivery with a grin that doesn't reach his eyes. Inside, the map of the Yellow Mountain, exactly where Sima Gui said it would be. How convenient, he mutters. Next, a plain medicinal herb worth 2 health points on its own, just one more piece of a hand he's now stacking in his favor. Next out of the bag, a nutrition bar, boiled red beans pressed with wheat and honey, standard rations for wandering beggars. Seol Hwi bites in expecting nothing, and stops. It's actually good. Small mercy on a day this brutal, but he'll take every scrap of good news he can get. The system pings. Health recovered, 1 point up, sitting at 119 out of 120. Finish the whole bar and that's +3 total. But Seol Hwi holds off, he wants to save the rest. The tool box lights up, offers to store it, and the leftover vanishes safely inside. Efficient. Almost inhuman. Seol Hwi heads out, climbing through the Chenil library all the way to the 12th floor. There he announces himself, not by his own name, but as Earth Demon Seol Hwi, squad leader of the so-called Flying Assassin Squad, requesting an audience. The man waiting inside freezes. Who did you say you are? Face to face now, Seol Hwi drops the bravado, calling himself just a low-rank squad leader, his unit unassigned, hence the makeshift name. Namgung Jin, the ambitious young leader he's come to see, isn't impressed, but he is curious. Why come looking for me? Seol Hwi's answer: he's got information that'll matter for Namgung Jin's dream of real power. The door opens. Come in. Outside now, walking together, Namgung Jin studies him with something between suspicion and delight. "You're quite amusing," he says. Then, straight to business. "All right, what is this information that's supposed to be so useful for my dream of becoming a great leader?" Seol Hwi exhales and pulls out a folded scroll, handing it over without a word. "What is this?" Namgung Jin asks. "You'll know once you read it," Seol Hwi tells him. Namgung Jin unrolls it as they walk, and his expression cracks. Whatever's written there, it's bigger than small talk. "Is this certain?" Namgung Jin's voice drops, all the warmth gone. "I swear on my life," Seol Hwi says. "What is your life to me?" Comes the cold reply. "Just a low-rank squad leader angling to stand behind the Earth Demon, and right now, that's a gamble with no guaranteed payout." Silence stretches between them. Namgung Jin asks what Seol Hwi actually wants out of this. Seol Hwi holds the silence, then answers straight. He wants to get stronger, same as everyone else. No flourish, no plea for sympathy, just the truth. Namgung Jin reads him for it, then turns and walks, and Seol Hwi falls into step behind him. Walking beside him, Namgung Jin lays out the terms. If this information checks out, Seol Hwi gets what he wants. His expression turns sharp, already calculating angles Seol Hwi can't see. It plays less like a promise and more like a test, and the scene cuts straight to the building where that test is about to run. 3 hours crawl by while the claim gets checked. Seol Hwi paces, a dread he can't shake, running the tangled politics of the academy, temple, institution, court, society, the attic, too many hands to track. One fact cuts clean through the noise. The Lord of the Supreme Court doesn't back the Earth Demon's name. His first disciple does, a rival called the Blood Demon. Then footsteps. He's here. Namgung Jin returns and locks eyes on him. "You said you were Seol Hwi, right?" Sweat rolls down as his mind jumps straight to the worst case. What happens if this fails? What will he owe the next loop? Then out of nowhere, a system window blinks open, asking to save his progress. 3 empty save files stare back. Seol Hwi can't process why it's asking now. Here's where it gets stupid, the good kind. The system tags it, Celestial Year 95, Chapter 2, 3 different lives, and locks the save in. Then it lays out the choice. Core Warrior, returned to the military as a vassal, 2 stars. The Earth Demon's aide, tutored under Elder Nok Yung Kwan, 3 stars. Secret Swordsman, assassinate someone of real importance, 5 stars. Seol Hwi's face goes white. This is, Seol Hwi stammers, staring at the window. Each option isn't just a path, it's a completely different life, and the stars under each one grade exactly how brutal that life gets. 5 stars sits right there, daring him. He's shaking, sweat cutting down his face, out of his depth in a system he never asked to run. Next stage, the window reads. Back at the panel, Namgung Jin watches Seol Hwi go quiet, sweat beading, as he reads the fine print this time. The military, it turns out, is the Academy's core training ground, run directly under the core. Option 1, the 2-star path, sends him back as a vassal after enlisting. But the fine print is brutal. This pipeline only takes 3 or 4 people out of every 100 who try. Option 1 builds strength, but guarantees nothing about survival. Option 2, Elder Nok Yung Kwan ranks 94th in the Academy. Training under him fast-tracks his demonic arts, though his temper could cripple Seol Hwi. Then it clicks if it's him. Could this be the road to taking down the Lord of the Supreme Court? And Option 3 won't name its target. Who does he have to kill to unlock it? Seol Hwi stares down a warning. This path's difficulty sits far above the other 2 options, and it unsettles him. He weighs it, hesitates, then locks in his choice anyway, become the Earth Demon's core warrior, the easiest door open to him. Namgung Jin just shrugs. That's all right too. Survival stays Seol Hwi's only real priority. Whichever body he's wearing, if a path hands him another life, he takes it. Namgung Jin lays out the timeline. 6 days until military admission, and offers him a place in the basement warehouse. Seol Hwi thanks him. Then Namgung Jin adds one more thing, a book down there. The textbook on the 3 primary excellences might hold something useful. Namgung Jin says the book's name again, and this time it lands. He wasn't just making conversation. Seol Hwi's eyes snap wide. That title is the real thing, not some throwaway line. Namgung Jin tells him to prepare well over these 6 days. Seol Hwi snaps back, "Yes, sir." And the training starts before the sweat even dries. Seol Hwi takes the stairs at a run, the name still turning over in his head, the textbook on the 3 primary excellences. If that's really the book, 2 arts still locked to him might finally open up. The fiery fist demonic art and the convening final demonic arts. Down in the Chenil library basement, Seol Hwi digs through the dark until he finds it, the book itself, right in his hands. A status window confirms it on the spot. White fluorescent demonic arts already learned, and both the fiery fist demonic arts and the convening final demonic arts now unlocked. He can't hold it back. Yes. Seol Hwi puts names to the power. Fiery fist demonic arts belong to the former vice principal, convening final demonic arts to the Lord of the Supreme Court himself. His answer is instant, Master Both. He goes for fiery fist first, and it's flaming vermilion palm, but this time there's no menu of choices, just a note that a hand-based art plays by different rules. A demonstration loads instead. The demonstration answers with a figure wrapped in blue flame, hands pressed together like a prayer. Seol Hwi grins at what he's looking at. "Ha ha, it's nice to see you again." The figure flinches, caught off guard by the greeting, right as the flame flares red and starts building into something far worse. The hands flare white-hot and the release hits like a detonation, red shockwaves tearing through the air and hurling a body backward. Seol Hwi's face locks into raw shock, mouth open, nothing like ready for what this art actually does. Somewhere past that stunned look, a low laugh answers him. "Ha ha." Seol Hwi sleeps slumped at his desk while the recording keeps playing, narrating the fiery fist demonic arts as bizarre, destructive, borderline unfair. Next up, convening final demonic arts, also called violent flaming eminence, the Lord of the Supreme Court's own technique. A crimson explosion rips across the vision. Even half asleep, Seol Hwi can't deny it. This is power his last life never touched. The crimson blast keeps tearing through the vision, and Seol Hwi's grin spreads wide. "Keek," he mutters, "turns out he can actually master these arts." No hesitation. "All right, let's do it," he says, 6 days on the clock before he has to walk into the military wearing the Earth Demon's name. I'm all training, and he means it. The days blur into a montage, books scattered and shredded across the Chenil library floor around him. He stands in the wreckage catching his breath, blade still in hand. When the dust settles, the system confirms it. He's absorbed imitation versions of all 3 arts, white fluorescent, fiery fist, and convening final. There's a catch. He's learned all 3 arts, but he can't replicate the shadow's full power, and he knows why. His internal energy sits at 80 out of 250. Build that up, he tells himself, and these arts will finally hit the way they are supposed to. Let's keep going, he says. Then the 6 days run out. Military admission day arrives. I'm done trained, Seol Hwi stops mid-sentence. A bald, heavily built stranger is already standing there watching him. Are you Seol Hwi? The man asks, flat and direct. Who are you? Seol Hwi fires back, tension spiking. The stranger doesn't blink. I'm Geo Woon. The Earth Demon sent me, Geo Woon says, to escort you to the military myself. Before Seol Hwi can ask how he knows any of this, Geo Woon presses something into his hand. The system flags it instantly. He's obtained the immortal pill, an internal energy amplifying elixir. 1 pill, Geo Woon says, can pack up to 10 years of internal energy into your body. One Ganjai of cultivation equals 60 years of normal training, which puts Seol Hwi's own reserves at roughly 3 years. 10 more is huge. He hesitates. It's too valuable to just take, but Jeo-woon cuts him off. Don't reject it, you'll need it to survive the military. Seol Hwi swallows the pill, and his stats spike instantly. Health to 205, internal energy rocketing past 2,000. Energy floods through him, and Seol Hwi can't help it. What strange luck. His health barely moved, but his internal energy just jumped 2,000 points in one swallow. Then the system pings again, a passive skill unlocked. Thought reading, letting him read the strength and status of any murim cultivator on site. The math just changed, and he didn't even see it coming. The pill's effects are still settling in, better stamina, and something new underneath it. Seol Hwi turns it on Jeo-woon, his escort walking beside him, and a status window blinks open, tagging him as just one of the Earth Demon's escorts, ordinary body condition. Barely anything, but it proves the skill works. Then his face goes rigid. No way. Jeo-woon's real status slams into view, 77% hostility, flagged in warning red. He isn't just an escort, he's a planted subordinate of the heavenly demon's first disciple. A spy. Seol Hwi's mind goes blank on the reveal. Then the scene cuts to the two of them walking on through the forest, the silence a lot heavier now. The warning won't stop flashing. Seol Hwi's back is turned, sweat cutting through his composure as the math lands. If this is real, the first disciple has eyes on every move the Earth Demon makes. There's no way this isn't true, right? Jeo-woon glances back, catching the stare just as they reach the gate. They've arrived. Birds scatter off the temple roof as Jeo-woon calls it done, his escort job finished, and turns to go. Seol Hwi breaks into a cold sweat, dreading a repeat of what he just learned. A choice window snaps open. Hand over the flying dragon pill the Earth Demon supposedly gave him, or ask straight out if there's something he's hiding. The smirk option is worth 10 points. Wait, the flying dragon pill. He took the immortal pill, the names don't match. That's the trap. Seol Hwi realizes this was never small talk, it's a loyalty check dressed up as one. He holds Jeo-woon's stare in dead silence, then locks in the confession. The scene resets, rain pouring down on both men standing in it. What? Jeo-woon's face snaps toward him, caught off guard. Seol Hwi holds the question steady. Is there not something you wish to tell me? The line hangs in a flash of white light before the scenario pushes into its next stage. The question lands again, Jeo-woon still stuck on what, as the two keep walking down the path. Seol Hwi pushes further. What does he mean? He's confused by what exactly? He lays it out himself. The military is where the skilled and the disgraced train side by side, and the Earth Demon knows exactly how skilled he is. So why the pill? Seol Hwi has to ask. Is raising his internal energy really enough to survive what's coming? Jeo-woon studies him, then admits it won't be that easy alone, and hands over a real iron sword, cheap steel with a bite. The military, he says, is where the Academy's disgraced and disgraced sex gets sent to train, and the Earth Demon has marked Seol Hwi as one of them. A voice off to the side reminds someone not to forget to thank him, and a flat yes sir answers back. Seol Hwi walks alone up to the gate marked military, sword still slung on his back. The system pings, medicinal herbs, restoration vials, a map, a short sword, all packed away. Gear secured. He's ready to move. Let's go, Seol Hwi says, and strides down a bare corridor toward a hulking bald instructor, the man who oversees every test taker in the military. Even those given command to teach aren't to be looked down on here, the instructor warns him. Then a status prompt appears. Choose one. Rows of blades wait on the ground in front of him. Since he'll have to decide either way, Seol Hwi shrugs and picks up a blade. The instructor confirms the choice, then lays out the stakes. Collect the same tools off other test takers and make it back by tomorrow. The exit sits through the door on his right, stocked with everything from throwaway tools to full armor, his for the taking. Go immediately, the order comes, and Seol Hwi moves without hesitation. Inside, he works it through. Other conscripts are running this same trial, which means the 10 banknotes he needs will have to come off their bodies. That's no different from killing every one of them, he admits to himself. Then the world shifts, dropping him into a bright valley ringed with temple roofs. Such grand buildings, Seol Hwi thinks, taking in the valley below. The longer he lingers out here, the better his odds of being spotted, but also his odds of finding what he came for. He has to keep moving, survive, get stronger no matter what. It's too quiet though, no presence is detected anywhere. Maybe he came too soon. He breaks into a sprint before that changes. He slips through the empty streets, tension easing for one breath. Thank goodness no one's around when a warning window slams up. An undefined enemy has found his weak point. Choose now, face him, find him, or flee. Someone actually found his weak point, a first for him, and there's no time to think it through. He grits out a pained cry. The system locks in his choice, fled. The scenario resumes. But his legs don't stop there, they keep moving against his will, his own body acting on its own, he realizes, stunned. Airborne over the rooftops, momentum snaps him right back into range, blade meeting blade in a flash as his hidden attacker closes the gap again. The clash ends with the assassin cut down, blood arcing across the tiles. Seol Hwi stands over him and says it plainly. He could have killed him before ever being noticed. A status window flickers up showing the assassin's health draining fast. The boy grins through the pain anyway, and the screen flips to one line. Next stage. Wind howls over the temple rooftops as Seol Hwi drops to one knee, blade still gripped tight, blood soaking his side. His health ticks down under half. He grunts through the pain. He got lucky. No fatal wounds, but this cut is nothing to shrug off. The stocky fighter across from him, Dishik, sneers. Let's not waste any more time. Seol Hwi rises, blade ready, and answers the same. His system reads the man's internal energy and it's nowhere near his own reserves. The math is easy here. This one he's not afraid of. Seol Hwi channels the white fluorescent demonic arts, the white meaning frigidity, and a wave of blue frost crashes into Dishik. He shrieks, staggering, and the chill's already doing its work, frost crystallizing right at his mouth with every breath he takes. Why is my body like this? Dishik panics as the cold locks his muscles mid-motion, stealing every ounce of speed he had. Seol Hwi doesn't wait for an opening. He closes the distance and cuts him down clean, blood spraying across the rooftop tiles. Seol Hwi doesn't let the kill go to waste. He's still only imitating this technique, not mastering it, and he's already faster and stronger than the man he used to be. His status window ticks the cost in real numbers, health and energy bleeding away, and he can't decide if watching himself die by the numbers is a comfort or a curse. Just as he figured, Dishik was carrying the marked corpus bamboo. Seol Hwi loots it off the body, HM, and the system flashes, golden potion acquired. A dedicated healing item, dropped right when he needs it. He grins through the pain. A gift from the gods, and he means it. Seol Hwi slumps against a temple gate, breath ragged. He stopped the bleeding at least, small mercies. But his health keeps ticking down, and he knows exactly what that means if it doesn't stop. He wants to drink the golden potion right now, but save it, and if something stronger finds him next, this fight will have burned it for nothing. Meanwhile, the bald instructor mutters to another figure that he has assholes to kill before he heads for the nether realm, a threat still off in the distance. Back on the rooftops, Seol Hwi checks his haul, medicinal herbs, a map, that golden potion. He tries the herbs first. His health ticks up and the bleeding seals for good. Turns out he didn't need the golden potion yet. Seol Hwi goes still. Footsteps echo down the corridor closer with every beat, and his head snaps toward the sound. Boots hit stone, one measured step after another, someone closing in through the compound. He doesn't move first. He waits, reading the rhythm of the approach before he decides what it means. The figure resolves into a face Seol Hwi recognizes. Chiak Ho, head of the Black Fire Squad, one of 7 squads serving the Supreme Court, each named for an element and only stamped black once it's official. Chiak Ho already got embarrassed once by Juk Mayung, the Black Moon squad leader, and that grudge makes him dangerous tonight. Seol Hwi clocks it fast. Chiak Ho's skill outclasses his own, so this has to end in one hit. He remembers a prompt that flashed once before, during his fight with Juk Mayung. Perfect opportunity, enemy weak point found. Heavy damage guaranteed. He never learned how to trigger it. Chiak Ho's guard sits wide open right now, so why won't the prompt fire? Across the yard, Chiak Ho can't wait any longer, muttering that he won't risk this dragging on while Seol Hwi gets his hands on better gear. Then the prompt finally fires for Seol Hwi. Perfect opportunity, Chiak Ho's weak point found. How will you proceed? Attack him. Use martial arts. Use a tool. He's never seen this choice screen before, and the countdown to 3 doesn't help him think. He picks attack him and the system answers. Scenario rewound 3 seconds, proceed quickly. Let's go with something safe and sure, Seol Hwi decides, still stuck on what 3 seconds earlier even means. Then the moment loops, Chiak Ho's gloating line playing again as time folds back and Chiak Ho freezes in shock. Seol Hwi raises his blade. So that's how this works. The blade comes down through the rewound second, catching Chiak Ho mid-word, no time left to react. Blood sprays across his collar. His smug expression doesn't even finish changing before the steel is already past him. The perfect opportunity didn't lie. One clean hit, landing exactly where it needed to. Chiak Ho gags on his own blood and the counter confirms it, health 0 out of 1685. Dead, on the first real hit Seol Hwi has landed with the system's help. He stands over the body a second, stunned silent, then the laugh breaks out of him, wild. I did it, he shouts, sword still raised, grinning like he can't believe it worked. He searches the body and pulls 5 marked bamboo, then a haul that stops him. A heavenly silver breastplate, a moon-scented dagger, 3 more golden potions, an antidote for iron blood poison. Whoa, he breathes, filing it all into tools, and his inventory reformats clean in front of him. There's a reason he's sorting everything this carefully, and he already knows it matters. Seol Hwi cracks open a golden potion and the system confirms it. Health rockets from a beat-up 107 to a full 205. The pain vanishes instantly. He barely gets a breath before another item pings, the heavenly silver breastplate. He wonders out loud if it'll auto-equip like the potion just did. And something reacts. Turns out no, armor isn't automatic. Seol Hwi laughs, there's a feature making it invisible on him. The tool system just keeps getting weirder in his favor. Then the mood snaps. A warning fires, an unidentified enemy has already spotted his weak point. Face him. Fend him off. Flee. Seol Hwi panics. He dropped his guard at the worst time. He doesn't know who's coming, and running still risks getting hurt again like before. Weighing it in silence, Seol Hwi picks fend him off, the option that discloses exactly where the enemy is. The system locks in the choice, and the location comes through instantly. The disclosed location loads in. An empty courtyard, a body already down on the tile. Before Seol Hwi can process what he's looking at, the enemy is already on him. A storm of blue and violet blade lines converges on him in a single brutal instant. The impact hits with a roar. Seol Hwi's HP craters from 205 down to 39 in one exchange. 166 points gone in a blink. He's on his knees in the settling dust, blood in his throat, coughing it out, and he knows exactly how close that just was. Seol Hwi runs the math fast. Flee would have put him closer to death. Face him first could have gotten him killed outright, and fend him off only reveals a location, no defense. The breastplate is the only reason he's upright. A voice cuts in, amused. Did I take you too lightly? The sword didn't go through. Seol Hwi freezes. You. The enemy sizes him up. Must be wearing gear, huh? The system tags him, Ma, squad leader of the Heavenly Abyss squad from the Red Demon place. His stat window alone is obscene. Health past 4,000. Internal energy past 6,000. Seol Hwi's read is instant. This one hits harder than anyone he's fought so far. And the stage isn't over. Lightning cracks down as Ma closes in, and Seol Hwi squares up anyway. His stats don't lie, health and internal energy that dwarf his own, enough that Juk Myung and Chiak Ho together would still lose this fight. Then the system drops one more line on Ma's tag, +1 life. The math just changed, remember this. Ma stands over him, sneering, all that power and only 1 life to burn. Seol Hwi doesn't answer, blood on his mouth. In his head it's quieter and colder. He's clawed through this life just like every reset before it, and it still isn't enough. Ma catches the muttering, wants to know what's so funny. Ma tells him he's gone crazy since he's about to die anyway. Seol Hwi doesn't argue, yeah, crazy sounds about right. Blades scream against each other. Even facing death, he screams back, calling Ma every foul thing he can think of, swearing he'll fight with everything he's got left. Then he strikes. He unleashes it, white fluorescent demonic arts, blade wreathed in blue-white light as he leaps into the strike. Ma barely reacts, just a flat ha, like this changes nothing. Then the blades meet and the whole frame goes white. Seol Hwi grunts through the pain of the clash, and the system flags something new. The clash detonates, a wall of blue light tearing through the space between them, energy crackling like lightning. This time it's Ma who reacts, a pained grunt breaking out of him. The squad leader who shrugged off everything Seol Hwi had is finally hurt. The math on this fight just changed. Seol Hwi freezes, stunned that actually landed. The system throws up Ma's stats, health and internal energy in the thousands, both just took a real hit. Ma stares at his own blood, muttering, trying to place what kind of martial art this even is. Seol Hwi's take is simpler. Their swords just touched. Remember this. Here's the mechanic worth knowing. Freezing fluorescent demonic arts is an ice-based technique, the strongest of its kind in the whole squadron, and by design it only truly works on female bodies. Men who rely on raw internal energy structure their meridians all wrong for it. It's so strong that men and demons want it in any way, so they built cheaper knockoffs derived from it. Seol Hwi figured this move was one of those knockoff arts. Problem is he doesn't have the body or meridians the real technique needs. By every rule it shouldn't work, but it just did. Ma growls through the pain. The system flags Seol Hwi's own energy crashing to 910 out of 250. The hit costs him just as much. Screaming, he charges back in. Ma comes in fast, blades screaming through the air. Matching that speed exactly isn't something Seol Hwi can pull off clean, not yet. But he can read it. He can see the strike coming before it lands. Steel meets steel again in a flash of blue and pink, and this clash is nowhere close to the last one. Ma bears down with everything he's got, roaring stop fooling around as he blows straight through Seol Hwi's guard. The hit is ugly. Seol Hwi goes down hard, coughs blood and gets back up anyway, sword still in his hand. His health bar reads 19 out of 205, and Ma isn't impressed, sneering that the tricks are wearing thin. Then the system pings. His proficiency in the white fluorescent demonic arts just hit beginner level. Not a stat boost. The skill itself is getting sharper. For now, I'll do anything I can, Seol Hwi decides and throws himself back in. Here's where the math changes. He's suddenly, visibly faster, cutting through the exchange hard enough to rip a shocked grunt out of Ma. Even Seol Hwi didn't see that coming. If it's like this, Seol Hwi thinks, then it works. He surges back in and the two collide full force, blades locked, blue energy exploding off the impact. Whatever he just found, it's holding. Oh-ma staggers back roaring, "What did you do? Just how?" And even Seol Hwi doesn't have an answer until the system does. A prompt flashes up. The perfect opportunity, Oh-ma's weak point, wide open. How does he want to proceed? A straight attack might not be enough to put him away, so Seol Hwi opens martial arts instead. 3 options pop up. 2 are locked, his own internal energy too wrecked to cast them. Only one is live, the fiery fist demonic arts. The system locks it in. Flaming vermilion palm, active now. Seol Hwi screams into the strike, drives a fire-wrapped fist straight down, and Oh-ma's shocked face is the last thing standing between him and the blast. Oh-ma's health bar craters, thousands gone in one hit, bottomed out at 0. Seol Hwi's own gauges aren't much better, health and internal energy both scraped down to nothing. He knows it too. Without that weak point window, he loses this fight. He catches his breath and walks off before anyone finds him. The system flashes 3 rewards: an elixir called the Blue Pear Drunken Lotus, a living sign of vermilion muscle transfiguration, and a classified textbook on the law of stealth. Seol Hwi doesn't celebrate. He's running on fumes. If another fighter finds him now, he dies for real. He burns a golden potion, drags himself into the tree line and waits out the night still, praying morning beats company to him. Seol Hwi has cleared the requirement, all 6 bamboo pieces collected. He tries to bank Oh-ma's loot into his toolbox for next life, but the system blocks it. Items from this body can't be stored, only true elixirs carry forward. So does he spend them now or hoard them? If he dies before the reset, hoarding changes nothing. He needs something with lasting effect, not a one-time boost. The classified reward is a stealth technique, first used by an elder sect instructor over a century ago. The deeper his understanding, the harder he is to spot. He learns it, and its permanent martial arts don't fade from memory like elixirs do. Better yet, it pairs with the exploit the system already flagged, Oh-ma's weak point, cracked open mid-fight. That combination just became a real advantage. Crouched in hiding with his sword close, Seol Hwi turns it over in his head. Take all the luck handed to him, leave nothing on the table. If he can use it without limit, without holding back, then the dream he's been climbing toward, the one that's always felt impossible, stops being just a dream. Seol Hwi steps toward a glowing doorway when the light flares and stops him cold. Unnatural, too clean to be sunrise. Is this it, he wonders? Is this the luck he was just talking about? Then the system cuts in with a prompt, save his progress. He answers without hesitation. Yes. A save screen opens, 1 slot already tied to this life as the Earth Demon, 2 more sitting empty beside it. Seol Hwi says nothing, just stares it down. Then he decides and backs out without saving. He walks off with his sword, no regrets on his face, even though he has no idea if this chance ever comes back around or if that was his last shot at it. His reasoning comes clear: better not to lock this choice in. There's still treasure scattered around this place he hasn't claimed, and if he's coming back anyway in his next life, he'd rather leave the door open. Then the screen breaks into static, and the whole scene rockets forward to whatever's next. New scene, bamboo sticks clatter down onto a table where Seol Hwi sits across from an old broker. He goes quiet, and the old man presses him. Is there a problem? No hesitation, choose the next one. Seol Hwi eyes the scattered sticks. He has to pick through every one eventually anyway, so he might as well start now. Seol Hwi doesn't hesitate. He grabs a stick without a second thought. The old broker reads the mark and nods. He's picked Eon, the eloquence path. Go over there, the broker says. Seol Hwi walks off alone, and one question needles him. Why can't he see any of the other candidates? He figured he'd cross paths with somebody by now. Instead, the halls stay empty. Not one soul. Fine by him, he decides, as long as he gets through. Whatever this next trial is, he doesn't know yet. He pushes open the door marked Eon and steps inside. Inside, Seol Hwi freezes. That fucker, he mutters. Sprawled across the room is Seol Hwi, a massive, bare-chested brute radiating a bloodlust so thick it turns Seol Hwi's stomach. This man is strong, dangerously strong. And there's something else about him Seol Hwi can't place yet. A status marker flickers over Seol Hwi's head, the system flagging him as a threat before Seol Hwi even opens his mouth. "What are you looking at, motherfucker?" Seol Hwi snarls. Seol Hwi tries to play it straight. "I came here to take the military exam." Seol Hwi just stares, then warns him not to spout that bullshit again. "I'll kill you," Seol Hwi growls, and the bloodlust that follows nearly buckles Seol Hwi's knees. His hand shakes at his side. Is this the test? He doesn't know, but failing to even take the exam means instant disqualification. Whatever happens next, he has to act. The room itself gives him nothing, bare walls, no clues for the exam ahead. Then, tucked in a bowl, a folded piece of paper. He palms it and walks past Seol Hwi, who doesn't even glance up. Doesn't he care what Seol Hwi does? He unfolds the paper to find out. Question 1. The scenario reads, he's on a secret mission ordered to kill the middlemen. Deep in a forest, he finds an abandoned house and inside the 3 targets packing to leave. Each knows martial arts, some stronger than him, some weaker, some evenly matched. How does he proceed? Seol Hwi stares at the page. Is this really the test? He notes the option to choose nothing at all. What's the point of that? A surprise attack's reckless, a conversation's risky, so he locks in wait by the house. "I'll wait until something happens," he says. "The safest way is the best way." Then a blade flashes, blood sprays across Seol Hwi's stunned face, and Seol Hwi's own expression twists with rage. "Fuck. I'm sure I told you." A blade flashes and blood sprays clean across the room. Seol Hwi stares back, red flecking his cheek, jaw locked around a curse that isn't fear, it's fury. This. Fucking. Blood drips into silence. Then the world doesn't fade to black, it resets. A cold prompt flashes, Celestial Year 95, Chapter 2, you will return in time, choose between 3 options. A hall, 2 shapes crossing it, and then it's Seol Hwi's own eyes snapping open. He breathes out one line, "I'm back." He grits out one word, "Again." The choice screen already knows his answer, become the Earth Demon's core warrior. The old broker nods, that's a good choice, and walks him down the same hall as always. Same choice as his previous life. Every word out of the Earth Demon's mouth lands identical to before, same tone, same look, same little gestures, right down to reciting that same textbook on the 3 primary excellences. Then he leaves, same as always. Alone now, Seol Hwi's mind snaps back to the fight that just killed him. He couldn't lift a finger before that blade landed. He's still too weak, if he wants to live this time. A status window pops up, his whole toolbox. Potions, antidotes, a short sword, a stealth manual. He needs to be more prepared this run. And here's where it gets stupid, the good kind. Whatever sits in that toolbox is permanent, it survives every reset. Lift something from the Earth Demon's own room right now, and it's his forever, even next life. A second window flashes, second chance, coin 2. Counting the extra life he earned killing a man named Oma, he's down to 2 resets left, no more cushion. He steadies himself, blade in hand. "It's fine, I'm still all right, let's cheer up." An hour of tearing through the room later, still nothing. He has to walk out with something. A crack in the panel catches his eye, wrong, out of place. He presses it, and a hidden compartment gives up its secret. An ultimate classified book. One of the 4 final demonic arts, the wind attribute. Nearly 200 years of technique packed into it, the actual peak of demonic combat, and this copy was gifted straight to the Earth Demon. Seol Hwi can't even speak. This is one of the ultimate martial arts ever handed to the Earth Demon, and now it's his. He bolts through the Chenil library basement in the dark. A guard shouts after him, "Hey, hey," and he doesn't slow down. The toolbox updates, 4 final demonic arts, wind, logged, and permanent. His heart is still slamming. This changes everything. Seol Hwi throws his fists up and roars. He's out, and he's actually holding it. No dream, he tells himself, goosebumps everywhere. One of the 4 final demonic arts, really in his hands. Then the adrenaline breaks. He drops to his knees laughing, and the laugh doesn't stop where laughs usually stop. It just keeps going. A status window blinks up. Health 118, internal energy 250. Miserable, he admits. He'll need another flying dragon pill from Seol Hwi, the Earth Demon's liaison in the military, this run. But dying helpless last life taught him something. Careful doesn't win. Fate decides who gets the real treasures, and the masters won't wait for cautious. He's burning every elixir he's hoarded right now. Seol Hwi downs the living skin to vermilion muscle transfiguration first. Health jumps to 118. Then the blue pear drunken lotus, and internal energy rockets past 300. The math just changed. It's not just the numbers either. His muscles thicken, his frame leans out, he swears he's grown taller. 2 elixirs, 1 sitting, and he's basically a different person. Systems ready, 4 final demonic arts, wind mastered. Supposedly the move that levels a building with 1 flick. Here's where it gets stupid, the good kind, he thinks, cocking his fist to try it, and it's locked. Just like that. Requirement not met. All that buildup, and the game slams the door in his face. The lock spells it out. 30,000 health, 50,000 internal energy minimum. He's nowhere close. Long way to go, he admits, but the man he's becoming should get there eventually. Until then, he's got a consolation prize worth its own hype. The white fluorescent martial arts skill, great sword, level 0, brand new, costs no energy to swing. Luck actually came through. He shoulders the new sword, first order of business, figure out what it actually does. Then the story rewinds, day 1 of the military, last life. Seol Hwi greets him warmly on the Earth Demon's behalf and hands him an immortal pill. Same Seol Hwi this time around. Every pill received, stats climb. Seol Hwi thanks him and files the name away. Someone remarks he's remembering things fast for a second run through the military, everything's tracking his last life exactly. Then a choice window snaps open, uninvited. Hand over the flying dragon pill you got from the Earth Demon. Seol Hwi flinches hard. What did you say? I haven't received it, he says. Remember that denial, it's not going to hold. Seol Hwi plays innocent. The Earth Demon promised him 1 of each. An immortal pill and a flying dragon pill. He was just checking. Seol Hwi stalls, offers to go fetch it, buying time. Then the pill's already glowing in Seol Hwi's palm. Exactly what he expected. So you did have it, he says. Seol Hwi was sitting on it the whole time. Seol Hwi and Seol Hwi clash in a burst of steel, blades flashing before either says a word. Seol Hwi takes the harder hit and drops with a pained cry. Beaten, he still smirks up at Seol Hwi. Die here today, or if he walks away, he dies by Seol Hwi's hands later. Remember that. The system pings. Seol Hwi's proficiency climbs from the clash. Below him, Seol Hwi lies bloodied in the dirt and laughs anyway, defiant even beaten. If he lives through this, he swears through gritted teeth, Seol Hwi dies by his hands. A threat from a man who just lost. Die by my hands. Seol Hwi vows from the ground. The win pays off for Seol Hwi, proficiency in the Earth Demon's arts plus a new passive, mind reading. His stat card flags him as dangerous. 95,000 HP, hostility redlining. Then a hard cut, a new room, coin pouches on a table, an instructor watching Seol Hwi choose 1. So you've chosen Shin, and the task, bring back 6 more. Seol Hwi looks around the empty grounds and asks the question out loud. He can't be the only one taking this test, can he? The bamboo markers say otherwise. There should be others here. So why is the place empty? He second-guesses himself for even speaking to the instructor, a breach nobody dares, and almost turns to leave. Then his eyes narrow, catching something. His eyes are doing the math. Other recruits are definitely in the military somewhere, just not here, different arrival times, different sections. And the ones who did show up already are grinding, clawing stronger by the day, which only means whoever comes later is scarier still. Fine. Doesn't change anything. If he has to fight them eventually anyway, the smart move is speed. Move fast, grab every advantage now. Seol Hwi walks up to a familiar gate. He's back, and soon this ground turns into a bloodbath. Last life, someone jumped him right here without warning. This time the order flips. He throws the first punch. Only problem, he can't find the attacker anywhere, and every second he stalls raises the odds he gets hit first. So he drops his guard on purpose, bait to flush them out. The system flashes a warning. An unidentified enemy has found his weak point. How will he proceed? It's here. Seol Hwi snaps and three choices hang in the air: face him, fend him, flee. Last time he ran, and while retreating, hesitation cost him a blade across the back. Not an unavoidable hit, just a slow one. This time, stronger, he can drop this guy without breaking a sweat. The system confirms it. He's chosen to face him, and the scenario resumes. A shadow drops from above without warning, but Seol Hwi is already turning to meet it. Steel meets steel, one exchange, and the attacker who once carved open his back goes down hard, pinned under Seol Hwi's blade. The ambush that scarred his last life just got rewritten. Ji-woon crumples in the dirt, and Seol Hwi doesn't even sound impressed. That wasn't a big deal, huh? Bloodied, still standing, still eyeing Seol Hwi with focused hate. Then a system warning flashes. Ji-woon has found Seol Hwi's own weak point. How will he respond? A quiet detail with a big cost. Their next clash starts with Ji-woon already knowing exactly where to hit him. Remember this. Seol Hwi walks past a fallen figure on an empty road, working through the fight in his head. He's not fighting for fun, he says. He's fighting because the gap between their skills fascinates him. In this life, he could have beaten Ji-woon with any option he picked. Attack worked. Martial arts worked. One option left. Time to see what it does. A system menu snaps up. Pick a loadout for this round. Medicine, tools, weapons all narrow down to what he can actually use right now. He skips the pills and grabs equipment, the short sword and the moon-scented dagger. The system asks where to place it. Right hand. Simple as that. The scenario resumes, and Ji-woon flinches at what's coming. The sword feels different in his grip now, and Seol Hwi reads the shift instantly. Handed the right gear, he thinks, and it won't ever slip or shatter mid-fight since the system backs it up. Ji-woon screams and charges, sword raised for the kill. Seol Hwi barely moves. Too slow. One cut, and it's over in blood. Seol Hwi lets out a breath, mildly unimpressed with himself. Truth is, the weapon pick barely changes anything next to the attack option he already tried, though he notes medicine would help him top off health mid-fight. He shrugs it off, figuring he'll get more out of it the more he uses it. Then the scene cuts, dropping him onto a quiet military rooftop for whatever's next. New target, new math. Seol Hwi scans the compound, wondering how many people guard it and what's stashed inside, betting the bigger the building, the bigger the haul. He vaults roof to roof using stealth to erase his tracks, though the skill drains his internal energy to do it. He's stronger now, sure, but relative strength means nothing until it's tested, and he knows it. He rounds a corner and comes up empty. No treasure, though he half expects that, since the good stuff never sits out in the open. Footsteps. He freezes and ducks out of sight. Here's the payoff. Stealth isn't just about hiding anymore, it's sharpened his hearing too, picking up sounds he'd have missed in a past life entirely. Seol Hwi tails the mystery figure, hoping his skill flags a weak point, but the door swings shut before he gets a read. Waiting exposed in the hallway is its own risk, he figures. One ambush and he's fighting blind. So he makes the call, go in. I'll trust my skills. He shoves through the door, and whoever's on the other side is not ready for him. Seol Hwi's blade tears through the dark in short, ugly arcs, and Seol Hwi can't find an angle to answer. His status window updates live, health draining hard with every hit that lands. He doubles over, coughing out a groan, blood soaking through his sleeve, the numbers still falling. Seol Hwi's guard slips for half a second, and Seol Hwi doesn't waste it. Now's my chance, he thinks, and drives a full-power strike home. Seol Hwi screams and crumples, his health bar cratering to almost nothing. Seol Hwi stands over him, blade still dripping. Something's off. No weak point window pops up this time, and that matters, remember this. The system only flags a weak point in someone still trying to survive. Seol Hwi, barely breathing, begs to just be killed. He's given up, so the system's got nothing to show. Then Seol Hwi spots it, a medicinal bar tucked on the body. Seol Hwi searches him, certain someone jumped Seol Hwi before he did. A prompt flashes, kill him or torture him. Seol Hwi, awake and terrified, demands to know why he's not already dead. Seol Hwi's answer is cold. In his experience, torture gets you more than killing ever does. He picks torture. Seol Hwi's got a name for this one, Boon Jun Chak Gal, and it's exactly as brutal as it sounds. Pump internal energy straight into the bone, twist until the nerves scream loudest. Seol Hwi convulses and howls. Answer me, Seol Hwi says flat. Seol Hwi, dazed, asks what he even wants. I'm sure you already know. Seol Hwi spits a curse back. Seol Hwi breaks. Fine, he says he has it. Seol Hwi tells him to lift his bandana and pulls a hidden fragment free. The system pings. Treasure map piece 1 of 7 obtained. Seol Hwi actually grins. What luck. Seol Hwi begs for a clean death this time. Seol Hwi offers to end it instantly with a strike to the fatal point. The same choice pops up again, kill him or torture him more. Seol Hwi catches himself smirking. This guy wasn't holding onto just one thing. Next stage. The room goes loud and red, hit after hit. When it settles, the system flashes one more time. 7 for 7, the full map recovered. Seol Hwi straightens up, breathing hard, hands still shaking off the adrenaline. Seol Hwi, bloodied, spits that he's disgusting. Fair, honestly, boots and underwear is one thing, but his ass is a whole different level of commitment. The system flashes complete. All 7 fragments of the military's treasure map are his. Seol Hwi blinks, checks it twice, unfolds the parchment in silence. Then it clicks. If the map is right, there's a treasure hidden inside this exact drawer, right here in the compound. He pulls the drawer open and finds nothing. Not a scrap. Someone already cleared it out, and they didn't even bother hiding it, just left a single nutritional bar behind like a taunt. Seol Hwi reads the insult loud and clear. Time to move before the rest of this treasure disappears too. First treasure secured. A manual for voice transmission. Normally a classified technique like this eats months to learn, barely worth the trouble in times like these. Then the system flags it as new and simply hands him mastery, no grind required. Seol Hwi grins. Remember this. Regression means he skips the line everyone else has to wait in. Second treasure. A manual for producing demonic iron poison. Not something he needs right this second, but knowledge like that never goes to waste, so he masters it anyway. Then he cuts loose, chains lashing out to tear straight through the tower, blocking his path, clearing the way to whatever's hidden next. Whoever hid this one worked for it, buried inside the ceiling itself. Seol Hwi digs it free. The third treasure, a high-class demonic combat arm guard. He turns it over, unimpressed at first. High class just looks unique to him. Still, curiosity wins. Should he put it on? He slides it on and the system answers back. He's learned wind, the basic technique behind the flaming vermilion palm, and his proficiency spikes. The arm guard's description lands harder though. This belonged to Elder Jang Kwon, ranked 34th in the demon cult. Seol Hwi laughs, bitter and sharp. No wonder the military's alumni get treated so well if elders bankroll gear for students who are expected to die. 3 treasures banked and someone else already grabbed a 4th. Seol Hwi folds the map away. He needs to move before the rest gets picked clean too. The tracker updates, 3 of 10 treasures found. He heads for the stairs, descending fast when a burst of muffled cursing stops him cold. The shouting keeps coming, garbled but furious from somewhere close. Seol Hwi turns toward it, slipping to a doorway and finds 2 men already mid-clash, blades drawn on each other inside the room. A status window flickers open in front of him as he watches, and here's where it gets stupid, the good kind. The system flashes stat windows over 4 fighters as they square up. Mu Kyung and Gam Ya of the 7 Dragon team against COT and Seol Hwi of the Red Demon Court's Demonic Dragon team. One side sneers about a clumsy synchronized attack. The other promises death for one mistake. These 2 courts are pillars of the demon cult, upper branch power, way past Seol Hwi's league. Seol Hwi does the math. Every one of these 4 outclasses Juk Myung, the old captain of the Black Moon Squad, and they're trading blows right now, right on top of where his next treasure sits. His own stats read back higher than any single one of them alone, but there's 4 of them and 1 of him. Seol Hwi holds back. He's not in a position to fight all 4, though if they'd actually show off their attacks and defenses, he could learn something. He wants to catch every one of these techniques if there's a way. Then the clash erupts around him, blades flashing. They're fighting, and he's standing right in the middle of it. Plan first, don't charge in. That's the lesson a few deaths already burned into him. But walking away from treasure this close isn't in him either. There's no getting stronger without stepping into the fire. Then one fighter takes a hit and cries out, and Seol Hwi's eyes snap toward it. The system flashes. Perfect opportunity, a weak point found in Gam Ya of the 7 Dragon team. Options light up. Attack, use martial arts, use an item, or a freshly unlocked closely approach the opponent. Seol Hwi swears. 4 enemies, 1 move that only drops 1 man at a time, and the instant he taps his internal energy, all 4 turn on him. Screw it, he decides, let's just do it. The system chimes back. Closely approach the opponent selected, now pick a direction, east, west, south, or north. Seol Hwi freezes. Is it asking him to pick one of the 4 fighters? Wait, is this some kind of instant teleport skill? Just the thought of it gives him chills. He takes a second, grateful that time itself seems frozen while he works it out. He maps the board. Seol Hwi stands south of Gam Ya. West of Gam Ya is his own teammate, Mu Kyung. East and north of Gam Ya are clear, distanced from Seol Hwi, COT, and Mu Kyung both. Seol Hwi's plan locks into place. Kill 1 from each team same instant, cut his distractions in half. Whoever's left won't blindly come for him. They might turn on each other instead. Then it hits him. North. The system locks in Seol Hwi's target, north. Then it happens in a blink. 1 second he's yards away, the next he's standing right on top of Gam Ya, the 7 Dragon team fighter. Gam Ya turns his head to check the threat, 1 breath too late. The strike's already coming down. The blade connects clean. The system flashes a strike of reversal, fatal damage, 2631. Gam Ya's health bar drains straight to 0 and he screams. Across the clearing, Mu Kyung catches the spray of blood, and the same thought lands on him that lands on us. One of the 4 just dropped, and nobody saw it coming. Seol Hwi's thinking fast now. He figured this fight was winnable. No, scratch that, he was certain of it. Somewhere in this mess his god's luck skill is overperforming, because the system just handed him 3 more gifts, weak points found on Mu Kyung, on COT, on Seol Hwi. That's not an edge, that's the whole fight cracked wide open. The perfect opportunity, the system calls it, and Seol Hwi doesn't argue. He plants his massive blade and grins into the rain, 3 marked weak points, 3 targets to work through, One question hanging over the scene. How does he proceed? New target locked, demonic dragon team Seol Hwi. But Seol Hwi isn't standing still for it. He's already convening the final demonic arts, and red flame rips across the screen as he cuts loose violent flaming eminence. This is not a guy who goes down easy. Seol Hwi's eyes narrow, and he meets the fire head-on. Blade against blade, red light explodes between them as both strikes collide dead center, sparks tearing through the dark, neither fighter giving an inch. Another strike of reversal lands. Seol Hwi chokes out a groan as his health crashes to zero, 4,500 points gone in one exchange. Seol Hwi just stares at what he did, what incredible power, then feels it in his own gauge, his internal energy cut nearly in half. Worth it, he decides, considering what it just bought him. A scream rips in from the side, "Hiya!" And Seol Hwi's whole face goes wide with shock. He was locked on Seol Hwi's kill and never saw this coming, and now it's too late to dodge. The blow lands, light bursts around him, and the moment goes white. COT comes in from the blind side full force, aiming for a body that just spent everything on the last kill. It should be over right there. Instead, the strike slams into a demonic combat arm guard and just stops dead, and COT freezes mid-swing. How did you block that? He genuinely doesn't know. Seol Hwi doesn't waste the opening. His blade comes down before COT can reset his stance, a column of freezing force turning that failed block into the last mistake he makes. The system flags it clean, a powerful strike. COT's health drains to zero in one line, 901 points gone. 3 down. Seol Hwi lets out a breath, health barely dented, energy only a fraction lower than before. He glances over the wreckage and figures he's got everything he came for, every piece on his list accounted for. That's when Mu Kyung, the last one standing, breaks, not with words, with a scream and a dead sprint straight at him. Mu Kyung's scream turns into 3 strikes landing back to back, over before he's even close enough to hit back. 675, 552, then a full 1078 to close it out. His health bar bottoms out completely. All 4 of them, dead in the same fight, and Seol Hwi hasn't even broken a real sweat. It's over. Seol Hwi searches the dead and the system starts stacking rewards, a spear, 2 blades, full body armor, and 2 mystery pills, 6 pieces total, enough to pass whatever test put him in this fight. The spear and 1 blade he's already riding off as dead weight. The pills he actually cracks open and the effects are underwhelming. Just this, he expected more. He tries the armor next. The 8 Emperor full body armor equips clean, and it actually looks sharper than the heavenly silver breastplate he's been running with. Can't confirm the stats without a detailed check, but the coverage looks tighter. Good enough. He's already turning toward the one thing in this room that actually matters. The real prize is the chest waiting untouched in the corner, the actual reason he broke into this compound. He cracks it open expecting treasure. What's inside is worse than nothing. 1 nutritional bar. Again, this isn't the first chest that's pulled this on him, and he has no idea why they keep hiding snack food instead of anything worth the risk. Then it clicks. A nutritional bar sitting where real treasure should be isn't random. Someone planted it, or worse, he's already stood in this exact room before, already opened this exact chest, in a life he doesn't fully remember living. Before he can chase that thought, steel flashes behind him. Someone else is already in the room, weapon raised, and this fight isn't over. Steel meets steel out of nowhere. A blade rockets in from behind and Seol Hwi catches it cold, his new 8 Emperor armor eating the hit. The attacker breaks off and bolts down the hall, grumbling about his rotten luck, running into someone this strong. Seol Hwi runs him down and stops. He knows this face. The system reveals him. Oma, squad leader of the Heavenly Abyss unit under the Red Demon Court. Health past 4,000, internal energy near 6,000. Oma tenses. What, you know me? Seol Hwi stays silent, already running the numbers, guessing at the real prize that chest should have held, the vermilion muscle transfiguration skin and the blue pear drunken lotus. Last life Ma's health read 4,650. Right now it reads 4,355, down 300 flat. Somebody already hit him tonight. Seol Hwi calls it out. Ma flinches, floats a truce, settle this later. Seol Hwi shrugs, says he's carrying nothing worth dying over. Ma goes quiet. His hunch just confirmed itself. Seol Hwi remembers the timeline. Last loop, this building emptied out hours later than now, meaning Ma alone could never have dropped 4 fighters here. They must have turned on each other first. He asks straight where Ma will run. Ma dodges. Seol Hwi names his own stop, the yellow roof, and it clicks. That's exactly where they crossed paths before. Go anywhere else. Got it. Ma agrees, that part's easy. Seol Hwi isn't done. One more question. When do the real heavy hitters show up? Because nobody in this place has actually impressed him yet. Ma stares back like he misheard. That's a joke, right? Ma laughs it off, says he clearly walked in blind. Sure, he's unusual for tonight. Once dusk hits tomorrow, an entirely different tier shows up, the art flashing a wall of glowing red demonic silhouettes. Grab what he can before then, Ma warns, or surviving gets a lot harder. Seol Hwi presses for a number. Hall commander level at minimum, Ma says, maybe a full chief commander representing one of the courts. That's the top of the demonic cult's chain, 5 courts and 9 halls, masters who look down on everyone below, and some of them are walking into this compound tomorrow. Seol Hwi's takeaway lands hard. To survive, he has to get stronger. Seol Hwi snaps into motion. Let's get moving. He downs the 2 pills he looted earlier, the heart pill of 9 protecting movements and the demonic divine spirit pill, and the system logs the gains live. Health up 300, internal energy up 270. He walks out stronger than he walked in. Next stage. A quiet rooftop scene barely settles before the fight's already over. 2 strikes land in a blur, feet planting, and a body crumples to the floor before we even see who swung first. Seol Hwi, the cultivator running this exact fight for a second time, looks down at the result without even blinking, just as he expected. It's identical to his last loop through this exact spot, Seol Hwi realizes, and the graying commander across from him freezes right on cue. Now come out, Seol Hwi calls into the dark. The system flashes a call. Perfect opportunity, enemy weak point found, how will he proceed? He picks close the distance, and steel meets steel in a blur of blue and red. The commander flinches back. Stop what you're doing, he shouts. Seol Hwi doesn't even slow down. I'd have already killed you if that's what I wanted, he says, and the hit that follows is a warning, not a kill. The enemy chokes out a groan and drops. Seol Hwi's hand closes around what he came for. The heavenly silver breastplate, right where he expected it. Here's the rule worth remembering. Anything Seol Hwi doesn't stash away before a reset comes back into play exactly the same, waiting to be picked up all over again. The commander studies him and asks what he actually wants. Seol Hwi checks his own vitals, banged up but standing, and says nothing yet. The system confirms it, heavenly silver breastplate obtained. Nice, Seol Hwi mutters, got it back. He pockets loot he doesn't actually need, then turns on the man in front of him. You, he says, narrowing his eyes. You're from the Supreme Court, aren't you? And you're the head of the Black Fire Squad, the commander fires back. That's right. Take these, the commander says, tossing something over. Seol Hwi's eyes widen. Answer my questions and they're yours, he offers. Seol Hwi goes quiet, then nods. Ask away. Do you know anything about the other 3 tests, Eon, Seo, and Pan? Did you walk in here without knowing what this place is? Isn't it just somewhere you take a test? Seol Hwi shoots back. Ha, the commander laughs. How could someone this skilled not know the test's contents? Though now I get why you chose Shin first. Tell me and you'll let me live. Seol Hwi asks. Answer well and I will, the commander says. There's a set order to the 4 tests: Shin, Eon, Seo, Pan, and breaking it means failure. I don't know the sequence, but I know the test called Shin is the last one the commander finishes. Chiak Ho's jaw drops. This is the last test. Why, yes, the commander stammers. Then explain this, Chiak Ho snaps. Last time through he finished this test and picked Eon right after. Someone scrambles the order every reset, the commander admits. He only learned that once he got here. No one this strong has ever walked in from the start, he adds. It's because. The commander lays it out. The true monsters, the ones on a whole other level, don't show up until dusk tomorrow. This whole facility, he says, exists so the weak can kill the strong, using the treasure items scattered around it. Chiak Ho listens, then turns and walks off, sword drawn, into what the commander calls the military's corpus test. Chiak Ho calls it exactly what it is, a slaughterhouse, a place where the strong prey on the weak. The commander offers him an out, telling him to run now while he still can. Chiak Ho refuses. He'll bail by midnight only if he can't grab the items he needs first. The commander just stares back, quietly. You really don't know anything. The stakes jump hard. By morning, everyone who finished the other 3 trials funnels into this same arena. Chiak Ho asks how strong they actually are, and the commander doesn't sugarcoat it. These are fighters recognized by the 5 courts and the 9 halls of the demonic cult. One name drops from the Supreme Court itself. Black Gold Squad leader Shin Bai Rang is coming. The commander tags Shin Bai Rang as one of the strongest names backing the Supreme Court's 7 squads. Then the system pings, cold and direct, an important mission. Eliminate Shin Bai Rang. Reward 1 heavenly dragon pill. Chiak Ho freezes. That name. He's heard of this pill before, and if it's the one he thinks it is, this changes everything. Holy shit, an entire extra tier of health and internal energy dropped in one item. There's no debate here. Chiak Ho locks in the mission on the spot. The system flags Shin Bai Rang as the strongest fighter across all 7 Supreme Court squadrons, personally loyal to Lord Samagal. Then his own status window updates, revealing a brand new stat. Combat power, 30,000. His mind-reading proficiency just leveled up. That's the only reason combat power showed up on his sheet at all, Chiak Ho realizes. He reads Shin Bai Rang's numbers next, martial arts nearing the peak rank, 70,000 combat power against his own 30,000. Brutal gap. But if his luck holds when it counts, he thinks he can actually take this guy on. Chiak Ho pushes for anything else the commander knows about the other tests. Pan, it turns out, is judgment. A hidden poison releases on a timer, and if you don't solve it fast enough, you're dead. Eon is worse. Someone asks you a question, and the wrong answer kills you on the spot. Chiak Ho takes it all in without a word. Last one. Seo hands you a book full of problems you have to answer in writing, though the commander admits that's second-hand knowledge. With nothing left to ask, Chiak Ho heads out to scavenge every treasure item he can find. Then his face turns, remembering Geo Woon, the man who once fed him nothing on purpose so he'd fail. This time, Chiak Ho swears he survives and he gets stronger. Chiak Ho locks his glare and swears it, kill Shin Bai Rang no matter what. With his stolen time, he tears through the yellow building for treasure, medicine, armor, a dagger, even a demonic arts manual. Digging through it all, the only thing worth pocketing turns out to be 1 grenade. Treasure still litters the building, but the monsters are almost here, so Chiak Ho drops into meditation instead, circulating Kai to rebuild his internal energy. The system shows it crawling toward a cap past 7,000. He wishes he had a stronger breathing technique. Dusk falls. Time to move. A scream rips through the sky and Chiak Ho snaps up, alarmed. Has it already started? Was he too locked into circulating Kai to sense them closing in? Before the thought finishes, something slams into him and he chokes out a pained grunt, caught completely off guard. He has got to move now. The system pings, stealth activated. Cloaked, Chiak Ho blurs across the rooftops in bursts, ducking and weaving as blades slash down around him, tearing through tile and stone where he stood a heartbeat earlier. He keeps running until he can finally stop, hunched over and huffing. Then a shout snaps his head up. Someone else drops in nearby. A crescent of crimson energy roars to life in the air, and Chiak Ho plants his stance as the blast comes straight at him. The blast connects. Whoever took it never surfaces, just a splash and blood spreading dark across the water. Chiak Ho freezes at the sight. Then his head snaps elsewhere. Footsteps near a red-tiled hall. A blade slides free, already raised to kill. Nearby, a shaken cultivator mutters that these guys are monsters, that nobody like him stands a chance. A column of magenta energy tears skyward and crashes back down in a killing strike. Sweating, he decides to just hide. Then he freezes. A blade is already right behind him. The strike lands, cutting him down where he stands. A low, satisfied laugh follows. The one holding the blade steps forward, Hong Ryu, a scarred, bare-chested brute gripping a sword taller than himself, blood dripping off it. He looks over the bodies and sneers one word, idiots. Chiak Ho watches from the rooftops, jaw tight. This is just man-hunting, he mutters, disgusted. Below, a scream rips through the dusk and a body drops, blood pooling across the tile. This isn't a fight. It's a cull, and he's standing in the middle of it. This, Chiak Ho realizes, isn't even a fight anymore, just a one-sided massacre. His eyes lock onto Hong Ryu across the courtyard, and something in him flags the man as a target. Dark energy flickers at Hong Ryu's blade. Remember this face. It's about to matter. The dust settles and Chiak Ho crouches alone, catching his breath. Just how did he survive that? These aren't random thugs. They're killers skilled enough to hunt people down in hiding and still walk away clean. Something doesn't add up and he knows it. In his past life. Maybe it's his stealth skill keeping him alive, he thinks, but no, that alone can't explain it. There has to be another reason. Something catches his attention, and Chiak Ho eases a door open, sliding into the dark ahead. Inside, a bloodied fighter begs to know why any of this is happening. A panting swordsman spots Chiak Ho lurking and gasps his name in shock. The killer just shrugs it off, guesses the kid couldn't give up on the treasure, calls it a whim and swings anyway. Then Chiak Ho sees him standing there calm as anything, Shin Bai Rang, the Black Gold Squad leader, the man he swore to kill. Why are people from the same court tearing into each other? Someone warns the Supreme Court Lord will make him answer for this. Shin Bai Rang just smiles. He's already cut a deal with the man himself. Shin Bai Rang lays it out cold. The Supreme Court Lord gave him a green light to wipe out anyone just chasing treasure. The other squad leader roars, "You assholes," and draws his blade in defiance. It doesn't matter. A burst of crimson energy cuts him down before the swing even lands. The squad leader drops mid-swing, dead before he finishes the word. Shin Bai Rang doesn't even blink. "You call yourself a squad leader," he says, pathetic. Chiak Ho, hidden nearby, has been tracking every move, hunting for a weak point window to strike, and it just won't open. Is there no other way? Chiak Ho freezes mid-breath. Someone nearby palms a grenade-type tool, muttering a plan to fling it and buy an opening while Shin Bai Rang's attention sits on Chiak Ho. Before it goes off, the system slams the door. Tools cannot be opened. Then worse hits. The enemy is aware of your presence. His stealth is blown. OF*CK. Even with stealth running, Shin Bai Rang zeroed in on the sliver of presence he left behind. Chiak Ho doesn't waste time wondering why. He kicks off the wall, putting distance between them fast. Footsteps close in from behind. He tenses. And Shin Bai Rang comes in low and fast, blade already swinging. "I'm F***, Chiak Ho thinks as the blade bears down. But before Shin Bai Rang can finish the catch, the system flashes something else entirely. Perfect opportunity, Shin Bai Rang's weak point found. What heavenly luck! Chiak Ho weighs his options and picks closing the distance himself. Too far out for a technique. This has to land as a killing blow. The system asks which way to close in. Let's go with this. Chiak Ho picks north and launches, blade drawn, crossing the gap in a blur aimed straight at the opening. A voice cuts through the rush. Too late. Steel meets steel before the strike ever lands. He blocked it in an instant. Chiak Ho reels as their blades lock and grind, biting back a grunt. Then the system pings again. Perfect opportunity. Shin Bai Rang's weak point found a second time. Again. Is it because he lost his footing? No hesitation this time. Chiak Ho commits to a technique. Chiak Ho lets loose a named strike, violent flaming eminence, a blade of fire tearing through the air. The system logs it clean. 8, 210 damage. Shin Bai Rang's bar cratering to 6, 790 out of 15, 000. And for the first time, the HUD tags the attacker by a name buried under the alias Seol Hwi, before he's already airborne again, chaining into white fluorescent demonic arts. Blades cross again and again, sparks and grunts stacking up faster than either fighter can call it. Ugh! Someone chokes out mid-clash. Chiak Ho keeps swinging through it, and the last strike lands clean, driving his opponent down under a flash of light. No room left to recover. Shin Bai Rang chokes out a groan, his bar gutted to 400 out of 15, 000, one clean hit from done. He staggers back, and Chiak Ho isn't letting him find his feet. I can't give him an opening. The system flashes a pickup, demonic combat arm guard. He equips it mid-motion and drives the finishing swing down. Shin Bai Rang unleashes a last-ditch sword wind, blade slicing down, and Chiak Ho's health bar dips as the hit connects. He grunts, staggers, but grits through it. It's not over yet, he roars and fires back, fusing white fluorescent demonic arts with his own sword wind into one blazing counterstrike. The counter connects. Shin Bai Rang's health bar craters from over 4,000 down under 1,200 out of 15,000, one hit from erased. A red slash tears across him. His hands snap up on pure instinct. Chiak Ho watches, and one question hits fast. Is he really about to block this too? The system flashes again. Perfect opportunity, it reads, Shin Bai Rang's weak point exposed. Chiak Ho's blade drives home, and he can't help it. A grin breaks out. I did it. Then it drops. A second window opens right after. Warning, Shin Bai Rang has found his weak point too. Both of them are exposed in the same instant. Two choice windows stack on screen at once, his and Shin Bai Rang's, both weak points live at the same time. Frozen between facing him, blocking, or running, Chiak Ho leans on the trick that's carried this whole fight. Choosing attack lets the system regress him 3 seconds, replaying the last stretch with the enemy's next move already memorized. It buys foresight. It does nothing to close his own opening. The countdown ticks to 2, then to nothing. Chiak Ho goes still, blood on his face, silent. The system locks in his call. Attack, face him. Steel meets steel, and the clock folds backward, 3 seconds relived, and this time he knows exactly what's coming. Standing in this exact second is both his best shot and his biggest gamble. Armed with that stolen foresight, he holds back, weak point window in hand, waiting to see how Shin Bai Rang answers instead of swinging first. Steel flashes between them. Then Shin Bai Rang's whole body ignites red, eyes burning, power spiking hard. He's coming, and whatever's loading behind that red light hits harder than anything he's thrown yet. The strike lands, a diagonal tear of blood ripping across the page, brutal and clean. Shin Bai Rang's face freezes, eyes blown wide, hair whipped back by the impact. Then the panel bleeds to black. Next stage, the screen reads, Shin Bai Rang is finished. Whatever this fight was building toward is over, and something new is already loading in behind it. That same red flare flashes one last time, the echo of the finishing blow. Then the frame clears completely, and a new face rises into view, pale hair and eyes that give nothing away. Somebody the story hasn't named yet just stepped onto the page, and that alone is the question the next stretch has to answer. Steel flashes and blood sprays across Chiak Ho's face. He's still standing, barely. Shin Bai Rang, the Black Gold Squad leader, just unleashed that sword energy again, and this time he clicks his tongue in frustration because pulling that off wasn't free. It cost him a serious chunk of his internal energy, and he knows it. Chiak Ho's mind races. That sword energy would have killed him if he hadn't already braced for it. A lucky counter might have taken Shin Bai-rang down too, but it would have cost him everything. Here's the silver lining though. Shin Bai-rang just torched a mountain of internal energy on that strike. Health and stamina, Chiak Ho now has the edge. Shin Bai-rang glares unsettled. You asshole. Who are you? Chiak Ho doesn't blink. What do you mean who? I'm just an asshole beneath you. Shin Bai-rang's eyes narrow. Beneath me. Are you possibly part of the Supreme Court? Chiak Ho just laughs it off. You don't need to know. The swords collide again, purple and blue tearing through the air. The system pings both fighters' vitals mid-swing. Seol Hwi, health holding, internal energy burning down fast. Shin Bai-rang, health chipped away but his reserves still run deep. Blade against blade, both of them grunting through gritted teeth, neither one giving an inch as the numbers tick lower with every clash. Seol Hwi clocks the trade-off. His health edges out Shin Bai-rang's, but his internal energy is still thin. One clean hit and he's in real danger, no time to overthink it now. He pushes through. The system fires results back to back. Attack successful, defense failed, evasion failed, tie. Hits land on both sides, health draining in a blur. Another exchange, another explosion of red and blue light as the two collide over the rooftops. The system updates again. Seol Hwi's energy keeps dropping. Shin Bai-rang's health keeps dropping right along with it. Both of them are bleeding, both grunting through the pain, and the gap between them keeps closing with every single strike. Seol Hwi thinks it through. The longer this drags, the closer their health gets, and if that keeps happening. Before he can finish the thought, something catches his eye and Shin Bai-rang catches it too. How dare you get distracted? He snarls, driving his blade home while Chiak Ho's guard is down. The hit lands clean. Blood again. Wait, a feint. Chiak Ho reels, wondering if that strike was ever meant to land at all. No time to figure it out, Shin Bai-rang's blade comes down again and connects. Chiak Ho grits through it and makes his call. I'll get to him first. He surges forward with everything he's got, blade blazing, straight into Shin Bai-rang's next swing. Remember this clash because it's about to decide everything. System warning flashes across the fight. Shin Bai-rang has found Chiak Ho's weak point. Chiak Ho's head snaps up, blood already streaking his face, completely blindsided. Shin Bai-rang just smirks, cold and confident, blade cocked at his side. The clash isn't over. It's about to get worse. The system throws up three choices: face him, fend him off, or flee. Chiak Ho, bloodied, curses under his breath. Each option trades distance for risk. Closing in is suicide against a stronger fighter. Fleeing means turning his back on a killer. He goes quiet, weighing it. He picks fend him off. The system confirms it and drops him back into the fight, but the counter lands before the choice even settles. Blood sprays, his health bar takes a real hit. Defense failed. Turns out the safe option doesn't mean surviving it clean. Chiak Ho grits that the attack was faster than he expected. Shin Bai-rang's bars glow on screen, still deep in reserves. Then the gut punch hits. Their health stats have reversed off that single strike. The math just changed, and not for Chiak Ho. Shin Bai-rang closes in, blade ready. Shin Bai-rang lays it out, calling Chiak Ho a discarded reject next to his own chosen status, trained, leading the Black Gold squad, a guaranteed promotion waiting. And here's the thing, he's not bluffing, he's genuinely that dangerous. Chiak Ho doesn't flinch. Don't kid yourself, he says. Chiak Ho fires back, asks if Shin Bai-rang really thinks he's the only chosen one. Shin Bai-rang goes silent, then snaps that the riddles stop here and swings. The panel burns red, blade raised, killing intent radiating off him. One word, die. Whatever's coming isn't ending clean. The blade comes down and it connects. Chiak Ho grunts as it bites in. Then the sword energy does something wrong. It curves. It swerves mid-strike like it's tracking him. Remember this one. A blade that bends after the swing isn't a normal skill. That's control most cultivators never touch. Shin Bai Rang isn't done. It's not over, he says, and another blood-soaked slash lands with a scream. The system flags the worst reading yet, a strike of reversal fatal damage inflicted. Chiak Ho drops, Seol Hwi's tag glowing beneath him, and for one horrible second this fight looks finished. Chiak Ho's health bar sits deep in the red, blood pooling under him, dark energy hissing off his skin. Footsteps echo away as Shin Bai Rang turns his back, sword sheathed, treating this as finished. Chiak Ho's vision doubles and blurs. He can't black out now, but the world keeps sliding sideways on him. Shin Bai Rang's footsteps fade, then he turns back for one line. Not bad, he says. For someone the sect threw away, he even praises Chiak Ho for pushing him this far. Chiak Ho says nothing. Inside, though, he's done stalling. If this ends the same way regardless, he's taking the gamble. Chiak Ho plants his foot and blasts off the ground, rocketing clear of Shin Bai Rang's reach in a flash of light against the rooftop. Shin Bai Rang freezes for half a second, stunned, then rage cracks across his face. How dare you run away, he screams and breaks into a dead sprint. He wasn't running. Chiak Ho whips around midair and screams into a downward slash, right as the system lights up. Perfect opportunity, weak point found, and this time it's tagged on Shin Bai Rang. The math just changed. Chiak Ho begs under his breath, please, because the window that broke him earlier just opened on his enemy instead. The system throws up 4 choices. Attack, martial arts, use an item, or close the distance. This is the weak point window, and here's the catch. It doesn't trigger on command. It only appears when the enemy has a real, exploitable weakness. This one's genuine, but attacking now kills him just as fast, and he's got no strength left for martial arts either. Chiak Ho picks use an item. He considered the grenade his backup weapon, but scraps that plan. Surviving and winning matter more right now than going for style. He drinks the golden potion. The system confirms it. Health recovered, hemostasis in effect. The bleeding finally stops as he rockets back into the fight. Healed up, Chiak Ho closes the gap and swings with everything he's got. Steel rings off steel, then his blade finds skin. A clean line opens across Shin Bai Rang's face. Blood runs down that grin, and for once it's not confusion on his face, it's respect. Both fighters rocket back into the sky, this round nowhere near over. Shin Bai Rang staggers, stunned. How, he demands, you were dying just a second ago. Chiak Ho, blade dripping, blood on his own face, doesn't flinch. I told you, he says. I'm a chosen one too. The system flickers behind him, next stage incoming, and Shin Bai Rang has no idea what he's actually up against now. Chiak Ho, the regressed cultivator branded Seol Hwi, throws himself back into it, blood streaking his face, refusing to fold. Shin Bai Rang was legitimately the stronger fighter here, no argument, but Chiak Ho keeps swinging past the point most people quit. Then Shin Bai Rang's grin cracks. What in the goddamn, he snarls, because the kid he wrote off as dead just would not stay down. Shin Bai Rang raises his blade, done playing around. Let's finish this, he says, and the air itself seems to crack with it. Chiak Ho doesn't flinch, doesn't backpedal, just meets him head on, blood on his face and murder in his eyes. 2 strikes collide in a wall of light. This is the swing that decides who walks away. The system confirms it. Single strike hit. Shin Bai Rang coughs blood, staggers, and his health bar drops straight to 0, a squad leader gone in one exchange. Chiak Ho, tagged Seol Hwi, barely stands, health scraped down to 249, Kai nearly spent. He won. He has no idea how he's still upright. He laughs, half delirious. Shin Bai Rang was objectively better than me, he admits. I got lucky. Then the system pings. Mission complete, reward incoming, 1 heavenly dragon pill, a miracle item that shoves both health and Kai caps up by 10,000 each. Remember this pill. With that locked in, Seok Hwi figures he has no regrets left, so he just wants to loot the body and go. A voice cuts through before he can move. Huh. You killed Shin Bai-rang. Seok Hwi freezes, one eye wide, every muscle on alert because whoever just found the body clearly isn't a bystander. Out of the mist walks a woman in a deep red hanbok, dark hair loose, stepping toward him like she owns the street. It doesn't look like you ambushed him, she says, studying him with open admiration. Incredible. I didn't expect someone with such great skill. Seok Hwi stays silent, wary, until she gets close enough for him to place her. Mr. Supreme Court member, he blurts, panic flashing across his face. She just smiles. You won't survive the admin core like this. Even still, she says, since you're a master who killed Shin Bai-rang, it'd be nice if I saw you again. Seok Hwi waves her off, I'm a bit busy now, so, and walks away without looking back. Only once she's gone does he admit it to himself. He'd been staring at her blankly the whole time, and if anyone saw, they'd call him stupid. In reality, there wasn't much I could have done anyway, Seok Hwi mutters. Then her status window flashes up uninvited. Health 28,000, Kai 24,000, combat power 50,000. His jaw drops. Shin Bai-rang, the man who nearly ended him, doesn't even register next to numbers like that. Chasing her down was never on the table. The math just changed and not in his favor. Seol Hwi drops into the same patch of reeds he hid in during his last loop, blood still wet on his face. His status window flickers, health barely above 0. He turns the heavenly dragon pill over in his head. Eat it now and instantly outgun Shin Bai-rang, or bank it for whatever's coming. He walks the risk forward. If the beings of midnight jump him and he fails the test, his next loop starts even weaker, stuck below a Shin Bai-rang he still can't touch. So the pill waits. Still turning it over, he wanders into a misty clearing and comes face to face with a rabbit. He flashes back to how the last loop ended, the core hunting down and slaughtering every straggler who hid like this. Somehow he alone just walked out the front gate, no explanation, nothing in his way. Still bleeding now, he shakes it off. Priority 1, stash the demonic combat arm guard, the best weapon he pulled off the core. The arm guard never suited a swordsman, he admits, but it bailed him out more than once. His shredded 8 Emperor armor isn't worth the slot. He reaches for the shadow-severing sword next and nothing. The toolbox won't open. Same command twice, same result. Why is it locking him out right now? Then it clicks. Someone else is hiding in this same patch of grass. Before Seol Hwi can process it, a blade rips through the reeds at him, a brutal red slash out of nowhere. He barely reacts in time, staggering back from a hit he never saw coming. His attacker steps out grinning, and Seol Hwi places him, the man from before. The system tags him, Go Weal, captain of the Red Demon Court's 7 Dragon Squad, 25,000 health, combat power north of 63,000. And here's the mechanic. The toolbox locks the second your life's actually on the line, which is exactly why his gear jammed mid-fight. Go Weal's numbers sit right next to Shin Bai-rang's, brutal on their own, and Seol Hwi is still running on the scraps of health left from that last fight. For a second he just stares down, cornered. Go Weal laughs it off, calling it pointless, telling him he's dead either way, so why bother scrambling. Seol Hwi goes quiet, then answers with the only thing he's got left. Right. Even if this is where it ends, he's going out swinging. He grips the sword, screams straight into the charge, and crashes blade first into Go Weal, the fight erupting around them in one violent collision. A warning flashes. Go Weal has found the opening. Confront, defend, or run. Seol Hwi's eyes go wide. He thinks back. The gap between them was too big to swing first. Some system prompt would flash red before his blade even moved. Now Go Weal's sword crashes down in a streak of red, and all Seol Hwi can do is. The system locks it in. Defend selected, the scenario resumes. Go Weal looms above him, sword raised, calm as ice, while Seol Hwi lies pinned in the grass below staring up at the blade about to fall. All he can do is tense and wait. The blade comes down in a red flash and everything turns to chaos, blade against blade, bodies twisting through the rain. Seol Hwi catches part of the swing, but it's not enough. Go Weal's sword connects and Seol Hwi doubles over with a strangled cry, driven back through the air. Blood streaks his face and his eyes widen. Another slash rips through him and he's flung backward, crashing into the mud with a heavy thud. For a second he just lies there. Then Seol Hwi forces himself back up, sword still in hand, teeth clenched through the pain. The system tallies it. Strike, hit, 235 damage to Seol Hwi. His health bar craters, his Kai reserves thinning fast. He groans face down in the grass, everything in him screaming to stay down. Instead he plants his sword and drags himself upright into the rain. Go Weal just watches him get up, unimpressed. Slow to give up, he sneers. What's an insignificant little thing like you even trying to prove by flailing like this? He raises his blade again, calling Seol Hwi fertilizer for men like him. Seol Hwi's answer is quiet. Yeah, I think I finally get it now. Get stepped on when stepped on. Get hit when hit. Die when killed. That's the loop Seol Hwi lived through over and over, dying and coming back and dying again. Got it. Go Weal grins down at him. Seol Hwi answers, because if I stop, I die. So I'll survive even if it means becoming their fertilizer. I must get stronger, Chiak Ho snarls, his eye burning demon red. The system flashes new text, using great ship sword. Go Weal's grin cracks into shock as the blade slams into his, sparks tearing through the rain, and for the first time tonight he's the one getting pushed back. The math just changed. Go Weal's eyes blow wide, the alarm freezing on his face. No time to react. Steel meets steel in a blinding cross of white light and blood-red slashes, the clash twisting into a spinning vortex of color. Then Seol Hwi's eye burns demon red, and the strike detonates outward, tearing clean through the mountainside behind them. The blade rips through Go Weal's guard in a spray of blood. He's caught on the edge of Seol Hwi's sword, hacking up blood, and the system flags it. Calculated strike, hit, credit for landing the blow exactly where the opening was. Go Weal's health crashes toward 21,800, his Kai draining right alongside it. Seol Hwi stands bloodied and grinning, the great ship sword blazing white in his grip, the fight now fully his to control. The screen bleeds to white, then black around him, and one line appears, next stage. Whatever that means, this beatdown was just the opening act.